Ay, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. And our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
Yo, you were loud on that one. You scared me.
I did?
That's key, though. Yeah.
We got to get it popping, baby.
I am your host.
It may be 6 o'clock where you at. It may be some different time based on whatever city you in. But it's time to get loud up in this piece because that's what we do. We laugh and we get loud.
Oh, you already know. That's a metric clock you're talking about, though. It might be a different time. I mean, it is or it isn't. I don't know. But, yeah, so welcome to the new edition of the Smoke Break. No. Wrong show. I wanted to be on there with Z-Bot. No.
Wow.
No.
Bye.
I'm just joking.
Bye. Me and Mac can hold it down.
How am I going to get out? Look at it. You got total gridlock. No, but seriously. Welcome back. Glad to have all of you guys once again. Yeah, I mean, you know, run up those thumbs ups, run up those views, run them up. Let us know who's in here. If you want to drop, we haven't talked to you today. If we haven't talked to you yet, hey, make yourself known. I want to know who you guys are.
Yeah. We got a lot to get into today. Mondays have consistently now been a longer episode, which I'm cool with it. We have a good time anyway, right?
Had a good time.
So let's start with let's first make sure we don't have any producer cues. Producer.
I did have, but you already know pretty much what the question was.
Okay, so I suppose we should start with the big news of the day, and this can be the beginning of stuff we heard. Obviously, we all heard about the hip drop tackle. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on that initially? Is that a good thing or a bad thing for the NFL?
I think they better get their weight up. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But, you know, just like the evolution of football in previous years, you're not going to see the little cornerbacks, the little fast cornerbacks on Derrick Henrys and people like that. They got to learn how to fundamentally tackle. You might have to get in there and get your shoulder dirty. You might have to take the legs out, you know, without wrapping. But it all goes back to the fundamentals that they've kind of gotten away from. To begin with, you know, it's going to be tougher to tackle, especially since there's two different variations of the hip drop tackle. Mm-hmm. So you can still swing your legs with momentum, but you can't unweight yourself and swing your body. That's what they said.
I like that description.
Lift your body. I had to go technical. Unweight yourself. Because when I first heard, I said, what?
Right.
But I mean, so I guess you can still swing. So I'm looking at, you know, like I said last week, those defensive tackles that don't really stick you. I guess they still have a chance in the NFL, but they better figure out how to hit.
I want to know who the guy that they refer to is for that type of English. Like when they sitting there writing it, we have to make sure that the player does not diskilogram themselves. Unweight? Okay, unweight themselves. Like who decides that?
They got to lower than raise the gravitational pull simultaneously.
That sounds like a real rule too. That sounds like something that would be in the book.
What's better about that? Have Dean Blandino try to figure out how to make that call on the challenge. That's another 15 minutes of nonsense.
Well, you know, Chris.
And he'll be completely wrong, so we wasted all of our lives while he's talking about nothing.
Right. Just go to commercials.
What you got, Mel? What you think?
I think it's going to be sloppy, man. People going to figure out, like, they got to figure out technically, is this okay? Is this allowed? Is this not okay? So I think the first year is going to be rough with the calls, either the non-calls or over-calling it. So, but I think, like, with the verbiage, like, we could all, like, I know what it is. Like, I could demonstrate, I could do it, but can I explain it, like, in rule terminology? Maybe not. Like, I've seen the play. I've seen people get hurt from the play. Actually, my brother hurt my stepdad doing that play.
Like, what was he going for? No, he did it on purpose.
Yo, so we were playing football at Martin Luther King, and I was quarterback. Threw the ball, caught it. He was about to take. He was gone, right? So my brother grabbed the back of his shorts and laid his weight. You know, he pushed him down, and he broke his ankle. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can demonstrate what it is,
right?
But as far as like verbiage, you can't do blah blah blah. Like, I don't know.
Right. I mean, pretty much any of those I call them those wolves. Like when you watch the Curious Riders, and they're whoa, and you get the feet. They got to kick out. You see that black still kick everywhere. Yeah. Yes, that's a no go. Can't do that anymore.
So I think it's gonna be, like I said, this first year I think it's gonna be rough. Like I hope it don't get to the point where it's like slowing the game down or it's costing people like games and stuff like that. But I think it's gonna be rough, man. Like players trying to figure out, are there in the legal ramifications of it? Is it too close? Is it like, and then is it different from quarterbacks versus wide receivers? Like,
yeah, I think a lot of them will be good because they don't do it. You know, the bigger guys usually don't. It's the small guys that do it.
Right.
So they got to really revamp how they attack the ball carrier.
I swear, man, Tom Brady was right, man. Most of the rules that come in is to help the offense, not the defense. So, like, playing defense nowadays is a lot harder.
I think I'm just getting old in terms of watching football, and I'm like, I hope his knee is okay. I hope his ankle's okay. Like, that's all I care about now. Like, every time somebody jumps, I'm like, oh, if he just lands right, we good.
But I have noticed, like, remember we used to, back in the day, like, if somebody had an ACL, they're done. You're not seeing them for the rest of the season. Now, the injuries are coming back. They're coming back quicker from it, but, I mean, they're still detrimental injuries. You know what I'm saying? But I can say the difference in recovery time is boosted up. So I guess that's a plus. Right. But I want to see is the number of injuries down from like back in the day.
They said there was an uptick. I think they said, what they say, a 65% increase from 2022 to 2023
injuries
in this tackle.
Wow.
In instances of this tackle, yeah. So guys are using it more. Well, they were trying to use it more, but I mean that goes to DK Metcalfs and people like that being as big as they are.
Right.
And these guys, like we said. You know, think about it like this, and I wanted to touch on this in a little bit because it was a conversation piece. But Travis Hunter, he's coming out, next year, and he's only 165 pounds. Who's he tackling?
Yeah. So my next question is this: obviously, the NFL has to get slower from this, right? Because if we're talking about guys like you said, their technique is going to have to change. If that's the case, I think it's going to end up being a situation where, the game has to slow down because how are you going to give players that are moving a mile a minute time to form up and make these, technically sound tackles that don't result in injuries that force the NFL to have to try and get rid of another kind of tackle. You know what I'm saying?
I really think for the most part that it's going to be consistent, except for the defensive backs. They're the ones that's just keying in on. I really think so. I think the linebackers, for the most part, I don't really see them with the drag and drops. And defensive linemen, they better not be drag and dropping when you're the biggest dudes on the field, not offensive line. If you drag, that should be a penalty in itself. Just being a defensive lineman dragging it, sit your ass down. Right? Get over here. Get over here.
Right.
Because it's uncalled for. You're 270 pounds. You bench press 400 plus. You squatting 600 plus, and you tell me you can't drag down James Cook.
Well, okay. So here's the other part of that too. So offensive players have gotten so good at what I like to call catch leverage. Right, so there's certain ways that they learn to position their bodies as they're making the catch that anticipate the added weight of a tackler trying to get, you know what I mean, as they catch the ball. So at that point, it would have to put the defender in a position now where you can't try to make a tackle simultaneously as the ball is getting there. You almost have to wait until the player gets the ball and then try to form up tackle.
Well, you don't have to form up tackle. They didn't take away the way they're hitting. You can still put a shoulder into them like they've been doing, but those are less effective, right? Like these big shoulder hits. For the most part, they can still do what they've been doing in that instance. Yeah. I think this really is a protection for the run after catch or guys like that are, like you said, once they come down and now they're being tracked down, not so much being vulnerable while making the catch. I think this rule really goes into play to protect, mostly running backs because, the bigger ones, like I said, they can't be taken down like they used to be because the guys are built for speed now. Terrell Bernard, Matt Milano, they're built for a finesse game. I'm sorry, people think Matt Milano's the hardest hitter on the team. Whatever, but still, it's you don't see Ray Lewis is out there. You don't see because he's too slow.
Right.
No, Brandon Spikes, he's too slow.
Well,
but you do see
your boy in New York. That's about as big as they get now.
Yeah. You're not getting any bigger than my man CJ. So I mean, it's a slippery slope. I think it's something that we're putting a lot of thought into. But I know. They're trying to protect the ankles more than anything. Those bent back ankles, those twisted up things.
Yeah.
What's up?
All right. Sorry to interrupt. I just remembered that I did have another one. And
Okay.
so I'm gonna say it after you guys are done.
Okay. Perfect. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm good.
So, Mac, what do you think about how that affects the form of tackle or the approach now to as the defender is getting the catch? What does that tackling process look like? Because I mean, the other thing I wanted to mention too was targeting. Like a lot of these guys, they're trying to hit with the shoulder as opposed to trying to wrap up tackle and stuff like that, so that they can make an impact that disrupts the catch, and B, it stops them from having to use the hip drop tackle.
I think what you're going to see a lot of too is gang tackling. So basically, one guy's going to have to hold him because he can't drop the weight, so he's going to hold him up while other people try to get there. So that's going to either hurt or hinder because certain wide receivers, certain running backs, if they break out of that, they gone.
Right.
But if you slow them up enough time to get back up, then you know what I'm saying. But you're right, like defense is so much based off of instincts. Right, your instincts is all right. He about to beat me. I can't let that. Like I got to feed my family. Right, like I got a starting job. Like I got to get him down any way I can. But if it's gonna cause a penalty, now you got to switch up. You got to switch the way you do things. So I think they're gonna have defenses. They're gonna slow up the tackles where instead of grabbing them and cutting them down, hold on to them and wait for backup.
See, that's where these penalties are gonna come in when you do stuff like that because.
When you
grab them and hold them, when you grab them and hold them, that's the more of a propensity to unweight yourself as you're waiting for your teammates to arrive.
Well, normally though, if you do that, they'll blow the whistle dead.
Not if he's still moving.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, that's if he's still moving. If he's hanging off him, you going for a ride. And that's the part right there that gets me because what happens when you grab somebody, if you're running a 4-3 trying to get to whoever, and you don't get them down, your momentum is going to take you into a hip drop formation anyway.
Right.
I think the unweighting, they said using the unweight. I can't even say the sentence because it makes no sense to me. Using the unweighting of your body to tackle the guy. That's kind of like like a suplex almost. It's kind of like it's that kind of deal.
Now to me, that is like a loophole to the rule. Right, because I can't unweight myself, but I could go low and pick you up. Mm-hmm. If I get your legs up off the field, you can't move.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Nah. So you do get.
They usually blow the whistle before you finish the slam. Huh? They usually blow the whistle before you finish the slam. That's why you don't see it.
Right, but so a quarterback sack is about the only time that we've seen this recently where a guy just gets lifted up and slammed.
Right,
right, and
right.
I think. That's something that you automatically get an unsportsmanlike conduct on that. What I mean? They don't want to see guys getting picked up and slammed. Yep. What I think is very likely to start happening is you're gonna get a lot of low torpedoing hits. You're gonna get a lot of guys aiming for thighs and hips and ankles.
See, this is where I thought about it. I thought about guys like Trey White. Mm-hmm. He's not a physical tackler. He's not a big guy. He's a kind of like a hang-on kind of armsy tackler. So I could see an instance where he's let's see who's a big tight end. We'll say Kelsey, where he does have to. He's hanging on for dear life. He's like I got to do something. Like you said, I got to feed my kids. Mm-hmm. I got to get this guy down. So I think that they made the rule too crazy because really what it is protecting you from landing on the backs of their legs.
Right.
That's like the crux of this whole thing. You can't land on the backs of their legs. And when are you really going to swing in the front unless he's going to fucking carry you like this? And that's not a good look.
Right.
He got the football in his hand and he got you in his other. No, that's not a good look. So
Right.
I think they really they overly complicated the rationale for this whole call when they could have just said no more swinging onto the backs of legs.
Yeah. Or I could see in that case, I could see more ankle tackles. Where you grab with the ankles and you
That's
hold
what I was
on
thinking.
for dear life and you just, you know what I'm saying?
Or if you got like one and you just try to grab the other
Yep.
foot as they
Yep.
step and then they trip and fall over.
If you get an ankle tackle, man, I give you a brownie because that is tough.
Well, think about it. So if in a split second decision, you can train players to catch the pivot foot. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm a coach and I'm trying to teach players how to accurately and consistently ankle tackle, I'm gonna tell them you got to go after the pivot foot, right?
Well, yeah,
so,
that's if you're in the front. But I'm saying ankle tackles for me normally is when you're chasing somebody down.
No. So what I mean is, if let's say a receiver comes at me, but he's running a comeback route,
Right?
Okay. So at that point, he gets up and let's just say I'm trying to bait the quarterback, so I turn my hip a little bit to open up, and now all of a sudden, the receiver thinks he's got me. He turns back to come back towards the corner. If I'm trying to play it safe, like Sean McDermott would have his DBs to do, then my anticipation is, okay, based on his body positioning, based on his hips, which corners are already programmed to watch, I can then tell where the weight placement is going. So I know if his pivot foot is going to be the right foot, then that I then begin to shift my focus from the hip down to the right ankle, and that's the one that I'm going to with both hands, and I'm gonna at least get a grip on that one first. Now here's where I think that gets dangerous though. If you start training corners and safeties and even linebackers to tackle in that way in the pass game, you got guys coming full speed down on people's ankles, like with pads, with helmet, with every, because like not every, there's not going to be enough of, well, we can say enough time and enough opportunity, like spacing wise or angle wise, to consistently come up clean on an ankle tackle in that way.
That's just a tough tackle to make. That's a really tough tackle to make, even being trained. I mean, it's got to be certain variables. That's one of the toughest tackles to make. That's all I'll say.
The one thing I'll say too, though, having not had the knowledge of it, because like I said, I never played defense, but I know the situation that Erwin is talking about playing wide receiver. If I got the leverage, my movement was going this way, and now the defender's back, he's gonna. But in UFC, like, they train to go after ankle locks. Like, so it's a trainable skill, which I think it could really correlate in football. It's just we're not used to it because we never had that mindset.
Right.
It's always wrap up, bring them down. But now if this is illegal, go straight for the ankle.
Well, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking about the piston foot drills. I'm thinking about the high knees. I'm thinking about how many broken tackles are made when you try to tackle somebody with just their ankles. You know, you look at a lot of the breakaways in football are because somebody tried an ankle tackle and they stepped out of it. You got to get in there, and most of the ankle tackles are here, and my thumbs are not stronger than your ankles.
Think about it. Can your ankles, if your ankle's strong enough to pull a 200-pound man off of you?
But it's fast enough to step out of his thumbs is what I'm saying.
Well, no.
Not if you lock it.
But you got to lock it, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
If you can lock it,
that's what they're going to try to teach.
Exactly.
Grab and lock.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to lock it, which is what they do. But they don't do it that often because it's something that's really tough to do.
Right.
So
especially, I can see you saying, especially on a call. My bad.
No, you're good. Especially laughing.
Especially
you never do this, so go ahead, please.
Especially on them cold games, right? If it's cold or snowy, you try to grab. I can see that not happening because snap, you know what I'm saying? Especially your feet going. My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna do it.
What? No. Go ahead. Finish.
He put us on mute. What is it? PTI? He muted us both.
I want you to talk more. Like, you see it, please.
No sound because he muted us.
Because his mic got cut. what happened, man? I'll be talking to him while he's still trying to talk and he ain't got no sound. Max, you all right over there? You lose your voice or something? What's going on? No, I mean, you hit a lot of the points that I was trying to get to. Like, I think technique wise, what I'm looking at, if we're gonna talk about this practically, right? What I'm talking about, it like, just for instance, we're gonna use the same comeback route that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to use their weight in one of two ways. The hip drop is going to have to come before the tackle so that they can hook the arm within their elbow or hook the ankle within their elbow, and then at the same time grab the knee area, right? So now they have a lock around the ankle and some kind of leverage on the knee so that they get the leg. They already do that in the league now as it is. Whenever they're trying to tackle from behind, they get the front of the ankle and they try to get the either the other ankle or they get the knee to put more weight on that on that leg so that they can't pull out.
All right, let's do this then. Because how would you apply this in a slant? How would you apply this? Because I mean, I get that, but the slant is. I guess I'm looking at more opportunities than just a comeback or something like that.
Yeah.
So slant route, right? Let's say the guy goes across my face. Mm-hmm. So his body's here. I'm behind him already. He's catching the ball. My mind, they're going to teach you to automatically start falling, dropping your body. Because like Ace said, the way the foot is, once you wrap that arm over there, I don't care how strong, you're not getting that foot out of there.
Okay, so that little piece you said there makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because they always fall down, but when I'm hearing ankle tackle, I'm thinking you're going straight for the ankles and trying to grab it, not slide down the body.
Not with your hands.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. That's what I'm wondering. You can't do that.
Man, Key, that's like trying to catch a chicken on Rocky.
Like, you got a bunch of Elmer Fudd's running around here trying to strangle, but like, what kind of thumbs you got?
what kind of mega thumb do you have that you ain't gonna dislocate and trying to grab? I'm like, yo.
I promise you though, it like players should get extra pay for tackling people like that.
He just mega thumbed it up. Like, wow. I'm like, yo, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to tell what I can do with my thumbs anymore because I can't do that.
Yeah. But that's how I'm looking at it. Like, dropping the body, boom. Not going straight for the ankle.
Yeah, now we're cooking with grease. Because I'm like, I don't think, what football y'all watching? I ain't never seen guys just going for ankles.
Who that fast?
Who the ankles? Exactly. Now you see why I was saying what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
oh, man.
I'm like, y'all agreeing. Something wrong here. Okay.
Dang, man, it ain't really like that. It ain't really like that. But yeah. So okay. So then I think the next step of this is the impact on defensive scheme, right? Because now you cannot depend on one-on-one tackles. That becomes extremely difficult now, and I think you like bringing that out was like the main thing that I think the impact is going to be of this is teams are going to have to gang tackle now like crazy, right? So what are some ways that teams can incorporate that into the way they play defense, like schematically? I mean,
only way I see it is playing that heavy zone because you play man. If that person don't make the tackle, it's a wrap.
It's over, right?
It's a wrap. So I think you would have to play more or play like a man-zone combo. You know how sometimes they're playing zone, but this guy is doing man, stuff like that. But that's the only way I can see it happening is a zone-type scheme.
Yeah.
Because like I said, man-on-man, one-on-one,
right?
You get past them, it's over.
The Bills have played that kind of like modified zone like you talked about, but they do it differently, though. They do more of a once you come into my zone, you're my man until I pass you off, sort of deal. Like we've seen that, but what do you think?
Honestly, I'm in a minority here. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't think that it's a huge. I don't think it's going to revolutionize the way football is played for the majority of the defense. Like I said, I think the smaller guys that rely on this kind of tackle, they're going to be hurt. But you've seen Rasul Douglas, you've seen Christian Benford, you've seen obviously Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are probably gone. But for the most part, Our guys don't tackle like this. They don't tackle this fast. Even Tyrion Johnson, they didn't. If they took out the torpedo tackle or whatever you call it, they take that out. That's different.
Then rap is done.
Yeah,
he coming for your head.
Right. So I don't think that this rule is going to take a lot of a toll on the game. I just think that for the certain few that, like I said, that do use it, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. And who was I looking at? Might have been Sal and Matt Bove, and they were talking about how even if it's not a penalty, you might see that envelope on your stool that says you've been fined $10,000 for a tackle you had on Sunday. So we might not even know they got. Well, it's going to come out later, but in the game you might not have seen it or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Remains to be seen.
All right. Well, I think we can, unless you guys have any more thoughts on the hip drop tackle. All right. Nah. Let's move on to other stuff we heard.
Can I air a grievance here though?
What?
I mean,
can I air a dad grievance?
What? I don't think we can stop you.
What?
You could just cut my mic.
I don't have that kind of power.
Oh, but you do. You just don't know it. He's sitting over here. He's messing with the knobs over here. He can turn my mic all the way down. And not even a thing. So yesterday was Sunday. You know, we took Ken to the Ringling and Circus and Barnum. They changed it now, so it's the Ringling Circus and Barnum and Bailey or something because they had a 7-year hiatus. Anyway, that's not the crux of my grievance. You know, Sunday is game day. It's this day. So Ken was cool going, but then when it came to come home, he saw it was 6:05. Like, yo, I don't have game day. I can't watch TV like I want to. Like, you can still watch TV till night 8:30, like you always do. Like, it's only 2 hours.
You're cutting into his game time, fam.
Damn. He was cut to the core for an event that I planned for him. So I'm asleep, but I'm a heavy sleeper, but I have my spans where I wake up or I'm in my light mode. I hear T say, Ken, turn the TV off. And I'm like, it was dark. I'm like, and sleepily, I'm like, what did he do? Because when she says it like that, he did something wrong. Mm-hmm. She's like, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
dang.
He got up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch TV. He got up to watch TV, so he must have come in the room, got the Roku remote, and went back. So that must have alerted her. So when it's time for me to get up to take him to school, I usually, let him watch TV, whatever, because she gets him up and gets him ready and all that.
Yeah.
So I go in the room, this man under the blanket, fully clothed, school clothes. I can't find my son. TV's on, not a peep. I'm like, yo, he down bad. This man, he looked rough when I got him out of there. And I mean, when I tell you, you know how kids they unfold onto the floor, they slide on the floor like slime. Yeah. He had no bones. He slid right on the floor, and then started crying. I'm like, So this is like my dad. I'm like, Was it worth it? Was it worth it, kid? He's like, I'm like, okay. So time to go to school. Man, this man's on the floor. And he put his shoes he has his straps. He put his shoes on, but they weren't on his feet. He had a strap around his ankle, but the shoes weren't on his toes. He had his feet through the space. He had these sandal things on. I'm like, what? He down real bad. So we get in the car and say, you know what? You're not allowed to watch TV before 6 o'clock in the morning anymore. When mom gets you up, that's when you can turn the TV on. I was like, you're a danger to yourself.
Right.
But this is the case. Even Junie would be on our side with this. What happened on Friday before we started the show? Your son came in here and had an emergency, right? Mm-hmm. I can't get YouTube to play. What kid watches TV anymore? They all watch YouTube. Right. So this is the kick. If he grew up with us, he would have fell apart. Because what do we have? Live TV. If you miss it, you missed it.
That's right.
You can't pause.
Right.
You willing to put your health on the line for YouTube? Just wait till 6 o'clock. Put the show you were watching at 2 o'clock on. Matter of fact, just pause it. You found it. Save it in your favorites. You got an account. Put it in there and watch it later. This man, the whole car ride to school, which is all about 5 minutes. So you telling me I can't? What about 5:55? I'm like, damn, 6:00.
5:55.
He's like, well, what about the weekends? I said, why would you wake up at 2 o'clock on the weekends to watch TV? You got all day. You addicted. You got problems, son.
So it's not like a show that comes on, like a new show where he's missing it. It's just like YouTube stuff.
He's already watched it. He knows it by heart. He can tell me what's going to happen, but he has to get up at 2:00 in the morning to watch the TV program.
Ray does the same exact stuff. His show, like, so whenever he finds a show that he likes, he locks onto it, and that's all he watches. We don't even let him watch YouTube all like that because he'll do the same exact thing. But right, his show is Boss Baby.
Okay.
It's a TV show on Netflix or whatever. Yeah. And that's only because we don't let him watch YouTube. Right? So, or I should say we don't let him watch it that often. We still let him watch it. Mm-hmm. But he's already finished the entire series. It's like 3 or 4 seasons or something like that, and maybe 15 episodes a season. So he's already finished like 60 episodes.
Yeah,
of
he's
this thing,
locked in.
Right? But he can't figure out what to watch. And he doesn't like. It's funny. He's not the type of person that likes to try new shows.
No, it's gotta be Boss Baby.
He's got to go right back to Boss Baby.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll. This is what he does. He'll be watching an episode, and the song will start playing, and he'll just start remixing it. Like I hear the song "Boss Baby," "Boss Baby," "Boss Baby." Like why you keep rewinding it? And what does he say? 'Cause I do.
He like.
What?
There you go. That's the right answer.
Stop doing that.
Right, you like because you drive me
Just
nuts.
watch this. Put the remote down. Like he has to. And even during the show, somebody say something funny, and then it gets quiet. He rewinds it. He plays it back. Then stops it, rewinds it, plays it back. But he laughs the same every time.
You ain't see that coming?
You some kind of psycho, bro. Like what?
These kids got if I find Ken in my coffee, we gonna really have beef.
Oh man.
He was like, Dad, I need a cup, man. I was up on YouTube watching. I had to like something. Dude,
he comes off as the type to me to figure something like that out. Mm-hmm. Like I see Dad doing it all the time. Mm-hmm. I might be able to get down on that.
I'm like, fam. I don't do it by choice. I'm trying to unwind from my night of hell. Okay. He's like, man, I can't wait. I said, you can't wait to pay bills, son. You can't wait to drive yourself and pick out your own clothes and cook your own food, son. He's like, no, I don't want to do none of that. Then you don't want to be an adult.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy being 7.
I guess I'm kind of lucky because my children sleep hard, all 3 of them. They all sleep heavy. So once they lay down, it's over.
Ken ain't no good to nothing. He ain't no good to nobody when that comes about. He be folded. My man be folded up.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me agree to vent on that. I appreciate it.
You are not the only one, bro.
Okay, we didn't lose any subs based on that story. That's good.
No. I think we good. Looks like we good. Anyway, all right. So, what do we got for other stuff that we heard?
Well,
so I just want to. Did y'all see the Mike Tomlin interview when they asked him about the quarterback situation?
No.
So basically, because they got their coaching meeting. Mm-hmm. It was either yesterday or today or whatever.
Wait.
Right?
Producer. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Let's ride.
Matt, can you help me out, please? Like
Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback.
I don't remember him saying Denver Broncos only. I remember him saying Denver Nation.
It's Steelers Nation. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I don't think.
But he's not part of Denver Nation.
I don't think
anymore.
Steelers Nation is going to appreciate that.
Definitely,
they don't appreciate him.
They were happy when they got him. Believe me, they were happy when they got him.
Well, you had to look at Kenny Pickett and at $1.2 million for a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah,
right.
So basically, they asked him about the quarterback situation. Mike Tomlin pretty much said, right now, the starter is Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah.
He said, however, Justin Fields has an opportunity to compete.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. Both quarterbacks they got for a steal, a cheap steal. Mm-hmm. What do you guys rather? Do you guys believe it's like this? Hey, Russell Wilson's starting, but how long before Justin Fields get on the field? Or do you see any possibility that Russell Wilson stays the quarterback for the whole year and Fields just ride the bench?
I do. I see both of them.
You see both sides?
I mean, and this is something I didn't realize. I think Steve Tasker said it. This is going to Russell Wilson talking about how Denver Broncos destroyed their cap with that $39 million hit, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, but it was a trade with Seattle, who's already in the contract. Why did you give him an extension when you signed him?
Right.
So basically, they did it to themselves. I feel no longer any kind of remorse for what they did. I don't care about you guys anymore. Eat your $39 million. Eat it. Have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Anyway, to get back to your question, I can see if Russell Wilson, if he loses the locker room which it seems like he has a propensity to do.
Yeah.
He gets hurt. If he plays bad, Justin Fields is going in. I think he has a short leash, but at 1.2 mil, what happened? Who cares?
Right.
Because if Fields is under contract. Is this? Did he sign a new one, or is this is last year? Because this is his 5th year, right?
I'm not sure what
Who,
Fields'
Russ?
contract.
No, Fields.
I'm not sure what
Fields.
Fields' contract.
This is he needs to be extended.
Yeah, so he has to be.
So he's still playing on his rookie contract.
Yeah.
Well, so once they traded for him, there was already reports that they were in talks with him about a long-term deal. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that's going to get worked out soon.
And that 1 year contract doesn't move the needle on that at all.
Right.
So I think the big thing that you hit on, Key, was the quarterback is basically you're the leader of the offense, right? So if you ain't got the players behind you, like you don't got the locker room, and I will say this, I know a lot of Steelers fans, them players is like they bleed black and yellow, right? So if basically what I'm saying is if one person on the offense is not rocking with them, then the whole offense is not rocking with you.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, well, some people like them, some people don't. It's either all or none.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be, and we know how Russ is when it comes to personalities and like other guys. So I don't know if this is going to bode well. I don't know. But from the Steelers' point of view, they're in a win-win situation because they got 2 quarterbacks for the cheap. But now what do you think is going to happen with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett?
Oh, they done.
Well, Pickett's gone.
Pickett's gone?
Pickett's gone.
Where'd he go?
He got traded.
He asked for a trade immediately.
Oh, he asked for the trade.
Yeah.
He got traded. Who was the other one you said? I'm sorry.
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Where did he end up going? He went. He's a
looking it up
backup
right
for
now.
somebody, and it backfired on him. Let's
That's
put it like that.
crazy. They drafted the man and then boom.
Yeah, but it backfired on him. So he gets. That's what he gets. He go to Tennessee, not Tennessee. But Mason Rudolph. And while you're talking about it, you know who's backing these 2 guys up?
Backing who up?
Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Who?
Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen he signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to clarify, Justin Fields is playing on a $1.9 million. No, he's a $3.2 million cap hit this year, and next year is his fifth year option is next year at $25 million.
The
Eagles.
Kenny Pickett to the Eagles?
Behind Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
And they're like, you think you're in a competition with somebody? No. You think you will get playing time? No. You just screwed yourself.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Right. Outside Looking In wrote in, hey, did y'all see Nightcap Unk speak on Coach McDermott? Video dropped 2 hours ago.
No, I didn't see that one.
I got to check it out.
I'm gonna look at it. Well, I'm gonna look at it. But it's funny that you mentioned Unk and Ocho, because remember when you said something about that cognac?
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No.
Did you see it, Bill?
Nah.
He was like, I don't never drink alcohol. I don't drink, but this Ocho. He said, but if we hit 1 million followers, I'm gonna drink that cognac. And and she was like, he did it like it was funny because he literally thought it was cognac, and Sharp was like, yep. So he's like, yeah. So what, baby? Because I guess real his fiance was like, oh, it's what cognac? Hey, is it cognac? He's like, yeah, it's cognac. But why is it? But it's CONG. Wait, that don't make no sense. He's like, it's cognac. He's like, but wouldn't that be CONYAK? He's like,
oh man,
he was like,
man.
and this way, was like, he's like, yep. He's like, see, you from the South. It's okay. It's from the South. We got it. I got you. The cognac.
Okay, that explains a lot. Because one of the things that I've always said to you is I didn't like the dynamic between the two. It seems like Shannon was always kind of like sunning Ocho.
Ocho likes it though.
I think he do.
He does. He
Right.
does. It makes it work.
It
for
seems
me.
like it because he like if it was me and I was getting talked to in that way, like I just don't get it. Like, wait a second, like.
You be sunning me, and I love it.
The way he do it though, it's like an uncle and nephew though.
That's the
type
whole.
thing.
That's the dynamic. I love
Like
it.
I don't know. You see the episode where he's talking about the Bible, where he was like, "Oh yeah, I read the Bible. I know the Bible." He was like, "Ocho, how many books are in the Bible?"
Yeah.
He said 34. He said, "Ocho, 66 books." He said, "Ocho, what's the first book in the Bible?" He said something else. He says Genesis, man. Like
He was like, huh? You sure about that?
Like, why you even got this dude on your show if you gotta keep it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look.
No, you know he went off with it. He stood up for wide receivers though. I forget it was Steph Diggs. He stood up when we were talking about Steph
Ocho
Diggs.
or Shay Shay.
Ocho.
Yeah.
Because he said Steph Diggs is definitely top 3 or top 5 or whatever. And Sharp was like, Steph Diggs on the top 5. He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, name your top 5. And he said like Devontae Adams. He's like, what about Jamar Chase? What about Jefferson? He's like, nah. See, I got to go to old head. They did it. They put in work.
Right.
He's like, based on 2023. He's like, that don't mean nothing. He's like, I don't care about their stats. He said, who's putting work on the field?
Right.
And he was like, and I mean, he was not backing down. But see, they had that dynamic, and that's what makes it work. Because, like you said, a lot of shows are boring.
Right.
And like I told the story about Ken. No, told those stories about stuff that has nothing to do with sports. It brings you in. It makes you feel good. But I like watching Ocho Cinco be like that because on the field he was a know-it-all wise guy, until he ran into Ray Lewis and gave himself a concussion.
Yo, when he told that story, I thought it was funny. Dude.
He was like, "Why you do it?" He's like, "I tried to sucker punch Ray."
He said he hit him and he ain't moved.
And he didn't even see him coming. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
Bounced off him. Yeah. But yeah, where were we now? We just went on a tangent about Ocho, which I'm at the watch.
Ocho,
yeah.
Shay Shay.
Yeah, so
he asked a question.
Yeah. That's what I was looking to do. So outside looking is saying he roasted McDermott.
So you really want to see it then?
So I really would like.
Well,
to
Elijah, he's saying, yo, you need to. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's saying listen to it live. I kind of want to see what he's saying. Let me see if I can find it.
It might be a little long. I don't know.
But while I find that, you had one more thing you want to get to, right?
So, contemplation on the draft. So, we got 11 picks, right? Mm-hmm. I was going through it, and in my book, I know my book is different from everybody else, but I have, out of all the number of wide receivers we have, but that's in the draft, I have 8 that are number 1, are first round draft worthy for me.
We talking wide receiver?
Yep, I see 8 of them. Here's my dilemma. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of teams going to be taking wide receivers before us. So what my dilemma is, those 8 are gone before they get to us.
Who are your 8? So you got AD, you got McConkey, got
my 8 for me that I give first round grades to. So we got
obviously Adunze, Harrison,
Neighbors, Harrison, Thomas, AD, Ladd, and I got Franklin. And the last one is Coleman. So I think those 8 are first round worthy.
Okay.
Those 8. But I don't think those 8 is going to be around when the Bills draft.
I'm okay with that.
So my question is, but here's the caveat. I think it's more beneficial for them to trade back. Mm-hmm. Right? But here's the thing. They have to be in the beginning half of the draft because I think their next pick ain't until like 60. Mm-hmm. I think all the second round guys might be gone.
That was one of the things we talked about too. I think
you know what I'm saying?
That a couple of episodes ago.
So then you're left with, you know what I'm saying?
Basically third round guys.
Yeah. Where there's a slew of first round and second guys who could make the team and be good.
100%.
I'm worried that if we don't trade up to get one of those top 8, we either take somebody else, like a different position, and we risk losing one of those second round guys, dropping all the way to 60.
Man, now I'm starting to worry because he sound like me.
To me, it's only 8. Like, to me, I think the first 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks. I think the first 3 is quarterbacks. Chicago got to draft a quarterback. I can't see him taking nobody else but a quarterback. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
But I could see those 8 being gone.
I mean, honestly, okay. So let me look at this again because I gotta. That's not what I wanted. I'm pulling up these guys. 2025. That's the wrong year. I'm pulling up the wide receivers from 2024's draft.
Okay.
Because you're looking at. Obviously, we talked about the top 3 are going to be gone. We know that. I don't even care about that.
You don't think Adunze could slip?
To us?
No, just Pat. Because I mean, you got to keep in mind these guys are projected to be gone before like pick 15.
Well, when you say slip, how I guess how slip?
Let's say Rome Odunze was supposed to get picked at 15, and maybe he slips down to 2021.
If he,
you don't think he'll make it to 15?
That's not where he's supposed to go. He's supposed to be top 10.
So all 3 of these dudes are supposed to be top 10.
But do you think the top 3 teams, the first 3 picks, are going to be quarterbacks?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. I don't see how. I don't see how.
You don't think Chicago gonna go take a quarterback?
I don't know.
I
don't know which one of the 3, but let's see. So you got the Patriots, you got Chicago. Who's second?
So it's Chicago. Hold on, I got it right here. It's Chicago, Washington, New England.
Those 3 teams, they need a quarterback.
Right. All 3 of them are taking quarterbacks. That's
like can you see a world where Washington and New England don't take a quarterback?
Either or, I can see a world where all 3 don't go.
So
all 3?
Yeah, because Jalen Daniels is not. He's not top 3.
Jaden Daniels.
Jalen Daniels he's not top 3.
I
don't think they're going to reach him.
I could still see the Patriots buying into that.
I don't see that. I think I could see somebody trading back to 8 or 9, picking up a getting, what do you call it? A big package for moving to 3 from 9.
Yeah, okay. But if you're moving up to 3, what are you taking?
Wide receiver.
So okay. Then we have to look at the teams that need a wide receiver, that have the picks to do it, right? So if we're considering that, like, who the Raiders are the only team close enough with incentive, with a spot for a receiver, and with the cap space for it. Right, for signing a number 3 overall pick, right? Because I mean, if we go through the list of people that would be willing to trade up, Cardinals would be willing to trade up, but it wouldn't take much for them to trade up 1 spot, right? Mm-hmm. So
it would be more than I want. No, it's not more I want to give, but it'd be more than I'd like to. But
when I think about that trade, I'm saying why would the Patriots only want to move 1 spot back? Like, if they're really trying to get to a spot where they don't have to worry about the pressure of having to take a quarterback, and they really want to just take best player available, why move a spot back? Like, we have to consider the other teams that would be involved in the trade. Titans have a quarterback. They have, who's their number 1 receiver in Hopkins, basically. Falcons have their number 1 receiver in Pitts, and then their number 2 is London.
Yeah.
Right, Bears got their number 1 guy.
This is how I get them. Wings. That all the top 3 teams don't take wide receiver. They take quarterbacks. Wings.
I can't.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not even really worried about whether or not. Like, I'm just going based off your premise. Like, they're gonna trade back. Like, why not just stay at 3 and take another player?
Because you can get picks and still get the player you want.
I just don't see it.
So you saying they can get out of the pressure of taking a quarterback, drop back, and get 2 players?
I mean, you can get a lion's share of picks for especially if you're talking about. I mean, let's put it like this: May is not that. He's not. He's Trubisky. That's who he is. He's unproven.
Well, we're saying that.
What?
We're saying May is Trubisky.
Right. But what I'm saying is, whoever's saying it, I will put wings that the first 3 picks are not all quarterbacks.
Okay, Caleb Williams is
he's
number
definitely
1.
going one of those.
So who are the Commanders taking?
You don't think they're gonna take Drake May? They got to. They ain't got no quarterback. So this is why I say that. I can see your point. I could see Keith's point and ponying up because these teams suck.
Right.
They need all the help they can get.
Well,
so they're gonna need help, but I can't see them building up without building a quarterback.
Right. And for the Patriots' sake, they have a defense still. The receivers that they would normally have with Tom Brady, they have right now. So they're really a quarterback away from feeling like they're in a spot where they can compete for a playoff spot right now. Right now, that's their mentality, is just make the playoffs. That's their threshold. So if they're a quarterback away, and Washington needs way more than the Patriots need, honestly. Could the Patriots use a better receiver? Yeah, but I don't think. Well, for first round sake, quarterback is more important than wide receiver for them.
Okay.
And I would agree with you that Jaden Daniels might drop, but then again, I think Bo Nix and Penix is better. You know what I'm saying? So if he don't go, they gonna go.
They're not going to high. Ain't no way they're going to high. Those are day two. Those are day 2 picks anyway. They might be better, but they're not going in the first round.
Nah. So you think so in the first round? So who's first round worthy quarterbacks do you got?
Obviously, it'd be
just
Caleb
those
Williams.
three: Williams, May, and Daniels.
May to me is a French dude. If it's me being a scout,
Timeout.
yo,
It's Lindsay's birthday today.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Lindsay! The big 3-9.
she's 39.
She's her 39th birthday today.
man.
Happy birthday!
I
Happy
wonder why
birthday.
she blends in with us.
We gonna sing
same time period.
No,
man.
no,
Not me.
No,
Same time period.
you right.
I mean,
You right. No, he's right. Not you, because we're turning 40 this year.
whoa! We established this. It's
No, you
documented on
established it.
Facebook Live.
You
It's
established
documented.
it that you said
I'm oldish.
27.
I'm old-ish.
You are.
I'm pushing 30.
40's a new 30. You're right. Hey, we figured it out. Hey, happy birthday, Lindsay. Happy birthday. Should we sing?
You can.
If I sing, will y'all join?
Hey,
All right, yeah.
hold up.
If you start singing, I'll join.
A is the singer. We already know this. I don't know if y'all know this at home, but A is the singer.
They don't know that. They don't know that.
He's the singer.
Well, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right, hey.
Oh my gosh!
Too
All
much
right.
fun. But yeah, no, seriously, I of course, you know, if you're, but like you said, Penix.
Christina, shut up. she said old heads. Old LOL.
Old heads.
I'll take it. But no, Penix maybe, but Bo Nix. Anybody takes Bo Nix, if you take him in the first round, I want to play you twice a year.
Really?
Dude's garbage, and he's old too.
I mean,
So
okay.
who do you got in the first round? Possibly.
Quarterback?
Possibly.
Just the
first
top
round.
3.
Just the top 3. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I could see 3 of them going. But
So
like
who
I
are the
said,
top 3 quarterbacks right now?
Williams, May, and
Daniels.
Daniels, but everybody else. But I think Penix is better than Daniels. But
Okay. So I could see the Patriots going with Penix. He's more closer in skill set than any of the quarterbacks to the guys that they've typically had, right? The offensive line wouldn't have to change much. The offense that they run wouldn't have to change much, right? Now, the other part of this, too, is Gerard Mayo's the guy taking over. Yeah. So it's not like there's going to be a complete overhaul of, culture and offensive scheme and stuff like that. If that was the case, they would have had a fire sale this past offseason. Clear a bunch of cap space on top of what they already got going into 2025. So because they didn't do that, that says to me, okay, they really just wanted a slight change of culture. They wanted somebody different at the top, and they also wanted someone else to take over as a general manager to get better players in here. That's what they really wanted. They didn't really want to get rid of Bill, but he was unwilling to hire a GM. With that said, if they got a guy like Penix Jr. in there, and that fits more of the offense that they play. Like you can't see them taking him at 3rd overall. I mean, especially when the Patriots when they draft Cole Strange in the first round.
I mean that was strange.
That was strange.
That was
Right.
strange.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they doing stuff like that,
Yo, is he
you
still on the
can't-
team,
you
by the way?
can't see him.
Huh?
Is he still on the team?
Yes.
He's like starting guard. Wow. But I mean, they drafted him at what 30, 32. So whatever.
Yeah, it was a kiss.
I mean, it was Belichick. He's going, like you said, he's going. But this is the thing. Why are we? I forgot about JJ McCarthy. He's a name that people like talking about too.
Yeah, that's another big one.
I hope somebody takes him.
Michigan quarterback.
Hope somebody takes him.
But you think, I don't know. I really think that Bo Nix got, I don't know. He got that it factor, man. Like I agree with Jayden Daniels. Like, to me, he's good, but it's different. So, like, I give you a perfect example.
I mean,
Daniels had two of the best wide receivers in college, pretty much. Neighbors and Thomas, right? Look at when Joe Burrow was there. He had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. We saw Burrow's skills. Like, I don't see, oh, man, I see his receivers, but I don't see him being like, oh, I'm that dude. Like, to me, he was only that good because he had
Great receivers
on the outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it was the opposite with Burrow. He had great receivers on the outside, but he was still good himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I think Jayden Daniels' knock is the fact that he had two superstar wide receivers and he wasn't. It kind of hid his true talent and his true capabilities because he had two all-stars.
I think the knock on Bo Nix, the major knock on Bo Nix is he's going to be 25 before the season starts.
Oh, you think because he's older?
He's the oldest player. He was the oldest player in college. One of the oldest players in college last year. Also, you got to remember he transferred from Auburn. He played his first 3 years at Auburn. He flamed out. Went to Oregon. Caught fire in a finesse game.
So really, he had one good season.
He had one really good season. I mean, he was a good enough quarterback, but he really had one, like the Leggett factor. He had one great season. It was like, oh snap, you know. But Oregon, Troy Franklin, like you just said, bombs away. They had another guy. I forgot who the number 2 guy. He's coming on next year. Who I actually like better. What's that?
Speaking, you said that's another thing that's add on to my hate with Marvin Harrison Jr. Is this counterpart in this draft?
Marvin Harris Jr.
Yep. Who's the wide receiver opposite of him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. That's kind of fishy to me. I don't want to show up at camp. I don't want to show up in none of the drills. I don't have to. Nope.
Yo, Mel's
Like,
on
was he
one.
really that good? He was the only option.
Mel's on one. Mel's like, who's the other guy?
Like, think about it.
let him
LSU.
cook. Let him cook.
Yeah.
LSU. Both of their wide receivers in there. Texas. Both of their wide receivers is in the draft. Like, these wide receivers, like, they're coming in pairs.
Yeah, but
Back when-
Neighbors didn't run.
Who did? Who?
Neighbors.
He was
Yeah,
LSU.
he did run.
He ran a 40?
Yeah.
Did he do all the workouts? Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He didn't do the workouts.
No. But I'm saying, but he had, you know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
at least showed up. He came.
he had
did the interviews.
exactly.
That's all that matters.
Wait, did Marvin Harrison do the interviews?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
He did
I
something.
saw him there with his
Yeah, he did
agent,
something.
just like taking pictures.
I just
Well,
can't-
Yeah. I would think he would at least do the interviews. I think
He
every
did the
player at
medical.
least does
I
the interviews.
think he did the interviews, but
Huh?
he didn't do the press conferences. He did the interviews, and he did the medical. I don't think he didn't do the press because he was late for that. He missed the press conferences completely.
Wow.
I don't know what it is, but something is rubbing me the wrong way about this dude, man.
Me and A, we got you covered though. We said Neighbors was better anyway.
No pro
100%.
day
100%.
and no combine. Usually it's one or the other. Like, for example, like
They do.
and
You're right.
like as a players, like Lamar Jackson. He did everything but the 40, and I respect him for that because
'cause he didn't wanna be
everybody
hurt.
wanted him to put him
Wide
as a
receiver.
running back or wide receiver. He's a quarterback, so everybody knows he's fast. So to me, that's smart. No, I'm not running a 40.
Right.
So you can salivate. Ooh, put that wide receiver. No, I'm a quarterback. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But this does not make sense to me at all. You're not going to participate none of the drills in the combine, and you're not even going to do a pro day.
That was the pro day was the thing that got me, because even Caleb Williams did his pro day.
I think he's a huge lemon. I'm not saying he's not good at all, but he's not the best. He's not the top wide receiver. He can't be. On his team, you mean to tell me the person who was lined up opposite you is not even listed on this
He didn't get
wide
off,
receivers
right.
list?
He ain't-
Yeah.
You know what? Let me see.
You're the only one
Maybe he was
there.
a freshman or something.
So-
did they run a 12?
If this is, I wish I could call Damaris on this. I really do, because this is another perspective that came to my mind. If I'm a wide receiver, and I'm going early in the draft, is that somewhere I want to be as a wide receiver?
You would think because you get paid more.
Right, for pay. But if my mentality is I want to win championships quickly and frequently and early.
You're going to a team probably with a garbage quarterback.
Right.
Or a garbage team.
So if I know that and I'm saying to myself, okay, well, how can I get on a good team or even at least a team that has a decent quarterback so I can put up some numbers and get paid on my second contract, right? Because let's be honest, that first rookie contract is decent, right? But at the very most, you getting what, $20 million guaranteed?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. You probably ain't even seeing that.
And you figure quarterbacks, they're going to get the most. They're going to get the most expensive one because they're quarterbacks.
Right. So you ain't even going to get your contract as a rookie. Your contract ain't going to be ish anyway.
Oh, it's based on your draft position, not even your play position.
Right. The draft position. Right.
So what I'm saying is, if that's the case, and I have an agent who's trying to play this smartly, I'll say. If I'm an agent, I'm saying, look, we gonna bomb everything leading up to the draft, right? You gonna slide as far as you can possibly slide, so that you can get selected at the end of the first round.
But this is the only thing that I'm gonna play my devil's advocate in this. He's got all this on film. He didn't forget how to play football. A team that's in the top 3 and they're desperate. I don't care what you do. The only thing you can do is talk about my mama.
Okay, hold on. No. So if the Buffalo Bills were at pick 10 and Marvin Harrison Jr. slid to pick 10, do you honestly think with everything that Marvin Harrison Jr. has done, they pick him at 10?
They would have to.
Well, we think that.
Yeah, they would.
But based on what they've done, do we really think they would pick him?
I would just put it in a vacuum. A team, I put it just an NFL team that needs a wide receiver.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Right? A team that needs a wide receiver. And Marvin Harrison, like, there's no denying it, no matter how much I hate the dude for not performing.
He can trip to the interview. I don't care.
He's still a top 3, right? Technically, I'll put the other 2 guys ahead of him. However, he's in that category. Right?
Okay.
So if he falls and you need a wide receiver, oh snap, we get Marvin Harrison.
If we got Josh, they would trip, stumble, fumble to that thing. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
So the only teams right now with a real shot at Marvin Harrison Jr. before all the teams in the teens, try to get their hands on him just because they trying to load up, right? Mm-hmm. Like Minnesota Vikings, who's their quarterback right now? Do we know?
Minnesota?
Yeah. See if you can find that out real quick. So
somebody went there.
I'm looking at Cardinals, Chargers, Giants. Chargers just got rid of Mike Williams, so they need a bigger receiver, right? Keenan Allen is where? In Chicago now?
Chicago. Mm-hmm. He was already – that's what I'm saying. He was already at checking out Caleb Williams.
Right. Mm-hmm. So
they're slapping up and everything. Like, yo, what's up? Yeah,
he was at his pro day in all Chicago gear.
He's checking him out already. So
you know why? Because he doesn't want to go to Chicago.
That's really what it is. He tried to sour himself from.
He don't want to go.
No, he don't want to go to Chicago, and that's why Keenan Allen's at the pro day with the full Chicago gear on.
Got you.
Right.
Yes.
So Chargers, I would think if I'm the Cardinals, this is a no-brainer. You got Kyler Murray, and you get a chance to get your hands on Marvin Harrison Jr.
because you just lost Hollywood Brown.
Right.
Like who's their number 1 right now? I don't know who's there right now. I don't
think they have anybody that's established there anymore because the slot guy they had went to
because he left too. Rondé Moore left.
Yes,
Sam Darnold.
Huh?
Sam Darnold.
That's their quarterback.
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Okay, yeah, they got Sam.
All right, they're all right.
Yeah, I don't. Wide receiver wise, to me, the Cardinals they have to take him. They got no choice.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. While we're talking, I'm gonna let this thing run.
Sorry, Lindsay. I was looking at another site. I didn't see you put that up there.
What did you ignore Lindsay on her birthday?
How you doing like that? Why, bro?
Wow,
bro. We supposed to have our backs.
I do, but Lindsay. I mean, come on now. She
supersedes that. That's what we're doing now.
I mean, it's Lindsay.
You about to get yourself in trouble.
He said only because it's her birthday today.
Not only.
All right. So Steve Lynn's got a couple of comments.
Wait. What? Before you, I did say the word Steve. I just ran a mock draft while we were talking, and guess just gonna fly in the face. They got Marvin Harrison number 1. They got come on, don't do me like this. Let me pause it. They got Marvin Harrison 1. They got Caleb Williams 2, Drake May 3, Malik Neighbors 4, Joel Alt 5th, Brock Bowers 6, Latu Latu 7.
Yo, the tight end went
Penix
before
8. So there you go.
He went before the other wide receivers.
Who's that?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
So Washington would have had to trade back.
Nope. They took Caleb. Marvin Harrison first overall to Chicago. Caleb to Washington. New England takes Drake May.
So go back to 8. Atlanta takes Penix.
Atlanta takes Penix. Jalen Daniels at 9. Odunze at 10.
So that's four. That's 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah. But like I said, look at the first. Like you said the first 3 will be quarterback. It's going to be 2 wide. Well,
I
2
cannot,
quarterbacks and wide
cannot
receivers.
see Chicago going wide receiver first.
I can't. Not with DJ Moore.
See, that's the thing. When you were talking about New England, I can't tell you who's not going to do it.
Oh, so you think one
really
of the 3?
Yeah,
one of them they're
going
going
to take Harrison.
Got you.
Because I've seen a lot of Harrison in number 1 overall.
I will take your bet.
Because who's 4th?
Yes.
Who's 4th?
What quarterback?
Is that Cardinals pick? They got 4.
Cardinals.
Yeah, bro. Like to me, that's a no-brainer for the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Marvin Harrison.
Right. That's
no-brainer.
That's easy.
He
that's
don't
easy.
know.
Now, if they smart, they would do like Neighbors or Dunze, but they're taking Harrison.
The Cardinals taking Neighbors.
Oh, you think he'll take Neighbors?
That's what this says.
Oh, on the draft.
Yep. Okay, I'm sorry, Steve. Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, I definitely they're definitely taking wide receiver because they literally have nobody.
Yeah.
So they have
got
to, and they already got a quarterback.
If Arizona is did I just say is it Arizona still?
I'm going to keep running while you're doing that.
Even if the Cardinals are smart and they take Neighbors, right? You're still looking at the Chargers right after them. The only guy they got is Johnston.
That's
the
it.
So they have
TCU
nobody.
kid.
They said
Right.
no Allen, no Williams, so they definitely take wide receiver too.
So then what? The Chargers are going to take. So this is Steve's comment, and this is what made me think about this. His first one is a lot of people have the LSU receivers rated over Harrison, and if he's not as explosive, a slower time only hurts him, and he's put in 3 years of tape already. I understand the decision. I do too. I think that's one of the things that Caleb Williams was concerned with too, and there were a few receivers that didn't do the workouts and stuff like that. So, but using the info from this comment, this is I agree with this because I think there are a lot of people in the league that are valuing the LSU receivers, especially after Brian Thomas just ran the 40 he ran. They're valuing those guys over Marvin Harrison Jr. Right? So if that's the case, then at the very latest, let's just say the Cardinals take Neighbors, the Chargers take Brian Thomas, right? Mm-hmm. You still got the Giants that would love to take Marvin Harrison with their first round pick. They still got Daniel Jones.
Are they using who did they sign a quarterback too? Who did they get?
Who?
Giants. Because I said Daniel Jones better watch out. Did they get Locke?
Hold on.
I think they got Drew Lock.
Might be. Actually, that sounds right. It does sound right.
So like you don't think Giants would take a quarterback, right? Because if they got Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, I can't see them drafting another one.
They have Drew Lock,
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So I don't think they're going quarterback, even though they could probably still need one. They're not going to go. I think they're going to go wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially with Daniel Jones' contract, they can't justify letting one of those other guys win the job. It's injury for him, and that's the only reason he would ever get taken out. It's got to be it. Yeah. So, 6 is the furthest he goes. It has to be.
Who's that? Harrison.
Yeah. 6 is the furthest he goes. Now that still leaves Odunze. So, if I'm looking at the Titans, I could see the Titans taking him.
Don't the Titans got 2 receivers already?
Nah, well they got Hopkins and yeah, that's right. They got Hopkins and Ridley, so they're not going to take Odunze. Falcons.
They could, but
you would have 2 slower guys. You got Drake London and then Odunze at receiver. Can you see that? I can't really see that. Unless you're making Odunze your number 1. Do we think Odunze is the number 1?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see the Falcons doing that.
I can see him playing the 1, Drake the 2, and then their Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts type role in the tight end. Because you got Kirk Cousins, so he's going to air it out anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this has them taking their wide receiver and quarterback combination in Chicago.
I tell you what, y'all better hope. We better, because I'm in the same boat. We better hope that the Jets sitting at number 10 don't get a shot at Odunze.
And that's
you think they will?
That's where they have them going in this.
Huh?
That's where they have them going in this, to the Jets.
Yeah. Some of these other teams, like the Falcons, might need a lineman more than they need.
I'm about to say, because I was going to say they need offensive line, but they got a whole bunch of guys.
Who?
The Jets, they just signed a
Oh yeah, no, they said Tyron Smith at left tackle.
They're definitely making sure Rodgers don't what happened to him on the first week happen again.
For real.
So I could see them and then pairing them with Garrett Wilson. Oh man,
that's what I'm saying. So now you draft another receiver that can come in and play like Garrett Wilson. Come on, man. That's and a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Come on, man. That's you can't say that's a wrap, but you can say that spells trouble.
They're going to be a contender. They're just not just all right. They're not going to be a pushover in the division. But 100%. I don't know, man. It's something. There's going to be more to this story with Marvin. It's me and Marvin Harrison. And now we're linked. This dude, he's on my radar, and I'm not a hater. Like I don't hate nobody, but I'm not liking this guy, man. He's rubbing me the wrong way, Key. Like think about it.
That's how I feel about Caleb.
Keyshawn, think about it. You are about to do the best job in your mind as the world. Like you're about to be paid to do the game that you love. So this is your interview. Wouldn't you go all in? This is your interview. This is your life. This is a life decision. So wouldn't you want to put the best foot forward?
Well, again, that's taking into consideration whether or not I want to go to a good team, though. Like, I honestly don't blame Harrison for trying if that's what he's trying to do. Like, come on, if I got a chance to play with Kyler Murray, I got to, you know what I'm saying?
If you get a chance, but his tape is not going to allow it.
And here's the thing, though. With that point, I can see that point from a player's mentality because, yeah, I'm good, but I still want to win, right? I want to get paid, but I want to win. Right. So I can see that, but
I can't get paid if I don't put up numbers.
True, but still, the guy who's going to take it, let's say it is the Cardinals. You don't want them to see, like, whatever you put on the clock, that's good enough. Like, yeah, that's good enough. Like, not to just put some icing on the cake. Like, make sure you're taking the right guy. Like, this is what I could do. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if I got the opportunity and I think I'm the guy, I'm going to make it known. There's no doubt. There's no nothing. I'm that guy. I'm that guy in college. I'm that guy because I could do this in my pro day. I could do this in the scout. Like, I'm going to give you everything that I got.
I'm glad you brought this topic up. It's going to stray a little bit from what we're talking about. But you hear what Coach Sanders said?
Deion?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said next year's draft, Shedeur and Travis are going to go in the top 4.
Top 4?
Top 4. And he said they're only allowed to go to certain teams. There's certain teams it's not going to happen. He said if it's a cold weather team, they got to have a dome. If they got to play outside, it's got to be in a warm weather city.
So as a father, I can see that, but as a coach, bro, you got to go whoever wants you, man.
Right, man.
Look, you got to go. As a father, yes, because even Stephon Diggs said it with his brother, right? As a father figure, yes, I want my son to be. I don't want him to make the most money. I want him to pay no taxes. Mm-hmm. Go to a Florida team,
look.
Play where it's hot, where you ain't got to worry about all that. But at the end of the day, this is the NFL.
This is me. This is me. Come here, Ken. You did all this work to go second overall. I worked 2 jobs for your whole childhood.
Right.
You got an opportunity to make this here. This is what I make after 20 years of doing this bull stuff. You gonna take your ass wherever you go. That's where you want to go,
right?
You're not going,
right? But then again, this is Deion Sanders, so they always had it.
That's what I'm saying.
They come from money.
Same thing for Marvin Harrison.
They come from money, but this is the kick. This is not a draft anymore. It's a draft for a reason. They call it a draft for why? Because you go where you're supposed to go. Yeah. There's no. When they call you on the phone and say you're going to be like. They ask you cool, but they don't mean it for real.
Yeah.
You bring your boy on through.
Yeah.
You know, and
hi, this is United States government. Can we please speak to Muhammad Ali? Hello?
Okay, so hello? Muhammad Ali goes to Canada, gets arrested. He don't play football. Rick James goes to London.
The man was still boxing.
Okay. So you rather your son go to jail before he plays for
to me, all right, so that's
Bears?
I see the point you made. That's a little different to me because his dream was to box. Like, going to war, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. If you're trying to play football, you got to go to the NFL. Like, you ain't gonna make it in the XFL or that. So
essentially, the point is, you being told to go somewhere that you don't want to go.
Right.
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 And if I'll use an even better example. If Eli Manning was able to get his way, I mean, come on, man. Like you can't tell me these players can't figure out a way around this stuff. And for
Well, there's no way around it. You just kick and scream, you get a trade. That's what happens.
right.
And that flies in the face of a draft. If you want to, let's call it what it is. You were great in college, which is debatable, and you earned a spot. You want the money or no? I mean, that's what it is. You want the money or no? When you go into college, you choose your college, knowing that when you get your job, it might be in Buffalo, it might be in New York, it might be in California, it might be in freaking Houston, Texas. You don't know that, but you know where your job is. It's for this corporation, which is known as the NFL.
Everybody watching, y'all can thank me later because I'm about to light this whole show on fire. Okay.
I think that mindset is different depending on where they come from. Because like me and Yuki, I don't care if I hate to say it, I don't care if my son plays for the New England Patriots. If that's who drafts him, that's where you're going.
That's his dream.
I would love you to play for Buffalo, but if New England, if you go to the enemy, I'm gonna have to wear New England jerseys, New England Patriots jersey. But
y'all gonna
that's my
understand
son.
it because you already know why.
But because of like it's huge to me. But again, if my dad was in the league, I'm already a millionaire with the NIL deal. Like I ain't going there. I ain't playing New England.
But you still can't supersede a process. It's a process. This is not like a guy that's supposed to be a fringe 6 rounder saying, you know what, if I don't go before the 5th, I'm just gonna go into free agency and go where I want. It's like we said about Marvin Harrison. He could have tripped, stumbled, and fumbled to his interviews. They still know what he's capable of.
Right.
You're not getting passed up by that many teams. Yeah. And after a while, you're going to start falling on draft boards. Keep showing that. You're going to fall. Seattle's calling. Shador, you want to be? Nah. Okay. All right, cool. This is the Broncos calling. Alex now want to be a Bron. Okay. So what did he say to y'all? Why is Shador still falling? Because he turned us down. He turned us all down. Like, you know what? I don't like that attitude. You get a guy like Sean McDermott like that. You know what? We got. Was it the wrong draft? But just to make it work, we got Bo Nix on the board still. Mm-hmm. We got Michael Penix still on the board. I'm gonna take them instead. So now you're in a war on whether City's a 3rd rounder when you should have been a top 5 because you let your mom get you in trouble. And you let your dad talk you into this. Shador don't even go to school.
Okay,
he's online. That's all he does, online classes.
He not even.
He don't go to school. He drives a Rolls Royce. He doesn't even go to class on campus.
Would the NFL be better if they recruited instead of holding a draft?
If you're going to do this, yes. Or do what's supposed to happen when you went to college and know that you're good enough. You're working towards something. You're working towards this goal to be in the NFL.
Okay.
It's a draft.
So
I know that.
The reason I asked that is this. Will Johnson, amazing corner for Michigan University right now, has already had conversations with Mike Tomlin and a couple other guys that came to Michigan for a pro day. Right? He's not going to be eligible until next year. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me that they're not in some way, shape, or form, trying to get to know him a little bit more, trying to put themselves into his subconscious, hey, maybe you like to come and play for me.
So,
blah,
hey,
blah.
You better suck good enough to get that number 3 overall pick so I can come to you, or else the Jets will take you.
Or instead of having to go that route, which is there's too much of a variable, involved in that, you do things like Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison did to ensure that you get a better shot or increase your chances to see those kind of teams.
They didn't do anything. They really didn't do anything.
Well, you say that, but like, there's the side of the room that thinks like you do, and then there's the side of the room that thinks like Mac does. Like it's not a given that because of his tape he's not gonna slip and fall. We've seen players that were great slip and fall. Aaron Rodgers. We've seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like there's no precedent for it.
But Aaron Rodgers wasn't in the Marvin Harrison. He wasn't in the shallow. He wasn't in that category.
Okay, I get it. Then let's go with Eli Manning. Eli Manning was able to demand, I'm not going to LA. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And he got his way. Now, can a Marvin Harrison do something like that? Maybe not.
Sure. I mean,
we've never seen that. What's going on, Chris? we've never seen that, but this is a different way to get that done. It's a different, like when we were talking about the Caleb Williams situation, and we were talking about why he's doing all of this stuff. It was already reported before he started doing all this stuff. He didn't want to go to Chicago. He was thinking about staying in college, right? We were hearing that all day long. Mm-hmm. So if we knew before the combine that he didn't want to go there, and then we start seeing all these things that lead to his image being tarnished a little bit, and maybe that souring the deal for Chicago. Why wouldn't we connect the dots and say he has to be doing this solely to poison the waters with Chicago? Like, I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Marvin Harrison be doing that?
But he didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do anything. He shot his mouth off. He said, "I'm going to go back to college, maybe." And what did he do? He got himself to the potential number one overall spot to go where? To Chicago.
Steve says Elway and Bo Jackson did it too.
Bo Jackson.
Jim Kelly did the same thing.
But Bo Jackson had a legitimate reason, though.
Yeah, and Elway and Jim Kelly went to different leagues.
Because Kelly didn't want to play here.
He didn't want to be in Buffalo.
He wanted to be a Steeler.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't remember Elway's situation, but I know Bo's situation. Bo's situation was when he got drafted, the owner said, "You can't play baseball." He said, "Well, I'm not coming."
Right.
And then Davis was like, "Yo, screw what he talking about. You can still play baseball and be with us."
Right.
Like, oh, where? Oh, I'm going to Oakland.
Right now, right, and that's again, it's not the same way that Marvin Harrison's trying to do it. It's a different way, but it worked, right? Steve said even Jim Kelly went to Houston before Buffalo.
Right, but like I said, there's a different league. He didn't go to the Patriots.
Right.
He didn't go to the Oilers. He went to another league. He went to another country. He did what Rick James, Muhammad Ali did.
Right.
And guess where he still went? He went where he got drafted.
Right. But what do we like? Seriously, if we're taking into context all of the variables involved, back then there wasn't enough power for the players to do stuff like that. There was very few and far between where players got that opportunity to say to the NFL, "I'm not coming there unless this," right? I mean, Jim Kelly was one of those. Like we pointed out, three or four people over the span of a 40, 50 year period that have done this. There aren't that many, right? So what I'm saying is, even in the days where we talking about Bo Jackson, they with them not having the kind of power that a Marvin Harrison has now, with the power of social media, the power of the media and all that kind of stuff, there's way more opportunity for him to strong arm a team that drafts him by saying, I'm not coming to play for y'all. I will sit the year out, right? Because what's going to happen if he sits the year out? He's not going to get injured. Of course, he's not going to get paid, but he already got enough money. Right. He got paid from college. He got money. Right, so that's not going to be an issue for him at all. He could sit out a whole entire year and it not even bother him.
You're going to sit out 4 years.
Huh?
You're sitting out 4 years.
4 years?
You're sitting out 4 years.
How you figure that?
Because you got
he's already drafted.
Right, you're a rookie contract, and he's not going to play for him. I don't have to get. No, I can let you sit here, and I'll screw your career.
Yeah, but no team is going to let him sit for 4 years. They'll trade him.
I can screw your career up if I wanted to.
Yeah, but no team is going to be that vindictive either. Why?
So,
because they got to worry about their perception of other players.
So I'll say this:
you're just so sour.
If that's the reason that Harrison's doing it, then I can understand if that's the reason. But if that's not the reason, like I'm more concerned. I want to know the reason. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'm just saying
your point,
that's more than likely the logical reason why.
That could be to drop so that he could play with a better team. Like we all know he's still drafted in the first round, but just I don't really want to play for Chicago or play for the Patriots. Like I'd rather pay for somebody who has a decent quarterback. I could see that. I could. But let me ask you this. Do you think is it wrong for college players to have that mentality, or you think it is what it is? Like looking at it from a GM point of view, like my team suck. I need help. This is the best player available. I need him for my team to be better. I'm doing him a favor. He gets to play in the NFL. He gets to help the team out. Do you think it's fair, or do you think it is what it is? Like at this point, you got to look out for you.
I think it is what it is at this point. I think part of the reason for that is players are trying to catch up and from the entire history of college football. You know what I'm saying?
Like millions are off of them.
That's what
millions
I'm saying.
Off of
these
them.
colleges have created entire empires off the backs of these players, and they saw not a dime. We heard stories, on the radio about players eating bologna sandwiches, fried bologna sandwiches, just every other day just to get by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they penalize them if they offer them money.
Right. So you mean to tell me nobody can come and help me out with my life, with my personal life, while I'm playing for you? And the only opportunity that I have to make it to the NFL is through you? Mm-hmm. That's a monopoly. You can't do that. Like, from a moral standpoint, you can't. So that's why I think what's happening now is you gonna give me my land and my mule. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. you gonna pay up, straight up.
Because at the end of the day, I see your point on that too, because looking at it from the college perspective, like you said, for years they've been making money off of these kids and not giving them a dime, but now the NFL suffers because they had nothing to do with it. But at the same time, these are billion-dollar companies, right? So it's like, hey, bro, you might not get this guy, but you can get this guy. Like, you're going to succeed no matter what.
Right.
Even if you have a terrible record for the next 10 years, you're still going to succeed. But this kid, he has a timetable. His clock starts once he plays the NFL. Like, you can't play forever.
Right. Steve writes in, it's only 1 year, Keyshawn.
What's that?
It's only one. So he says if you don't play, you get to go back and to go
back
to the draft.
You can do that. You can do that.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking if he just chooses not to play, sits out a year, he can go right back into the draft.
He goes back in draft and does the same thing again.
Wait a minute.
What?
Could this possibly happen? Let's say I am Marvin Harrison and I don't want to play for this team. So you know what? I'm not playing next year. Or could I be a walk on as a undrafted free agent or no?
You can only. I think you can only do that if the draft passes and you don't get drafted. Right?
Oh, but if a team selects you, you're obligated to play for that team.
And that's the point. What you just said. It don't start. That obligation don't start after pick 10. It start to pick 1. You get drafted, you obligated. So shut up and play. Anyway, moving on to your because we're getting to 7:40. I mean, obviously, I'm not like hard pressed for time, but we're getting. Right. I know you got to exercise, and there was you want to talk about the press conference as well.
Yeah. So Brandon Beane's interview, I guess.
Did you watch them? Did you watch them both? McDermott too, or no?
No, I started to watch McDermott today, but we were trying to set up for the.
Oh, okay, got you.
You got here early.
You did, yeah, I got you.
I watched the Brandon Beane interview, and there were a couple of things that stuck out to me.
Let me pull up my notes.
So he was asked about the state of the running backs and how Saquon Barkley just got his deal in Philly, right? And the question was, what is your philosophy, and does it surprise you when a running back gets that kind of money? Okay, mm-hmm. So Beane goes on to say, well, every player is its own entity, and I don't fall into that running back. But then he goes on to say he would be more surprised if the guy was just an old school 2-down back. And then he kind of transitioned the thought into using McCaffrey as a weapon as an example of a weapon that you might pay that kind of money for. And I guess what he's saying is Saquon Barkley is kind of in that range of the type of player, a 3-down back that you would, pay that kind of money and not really worry about it, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what strikes me about that? What strikes me about that is it says a couple of things, A, about how he thinks about running back, and B, the contradiction of how James Cook has kind of been valued this whole time.
Somebody actually followed up. I don't know if you caught it, but somebody followed up and asked about James Cook and his usage. They asked, are you going to be limiting? Are you going to be monitoring his touches? Are you going to be allowing him to take plays off or whatever?
To basically
the case may be?
Get to that level of a McCaffrey, and because you're getting the opportunity.
Yeah, he said, are you going to allow him to? Are you going to watch this? Are you going to limit him? Are you going to are you just going to let him run this 4 years out and rinse and repeat? That's basically what they said. Are you going to? This is your cycle.
Yeah.
And so when he said that he did say that, and that's where he got into what you're saying about the different values of McCaffrey's and 3-down backs and all that stuff. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I actually had it in my notes as well.
Right. So then, after you use that example, another reporter asked, "Is that something he would do?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he goes, "No, I'm not saying it's something I wouldn't do. You know, it's basically just where I feel the holes are on the team."
Mm-hmm.
So the thought that I had when I heard that was, if the focus is where I perceive the holes are on the team, relative to how I'm deciding to pay a player or the what value I'm placing on a player, that basically means you don't value the player. You put a value on the position.
Right.
That means you're basically playing a numbers game in terms of what the average scales around the league are. And don't get me wrong. I understand that that's just how it works. But at the same time, if you're thinking about guys like a Saquon Barkley, guys like a McCaffrey that become available in free agency, essentially what that means is you really don't value what the player can bring to your team, right? And if not that, then at the very least, you don't place a value on paying over what the average would be for a player like that, right? So to me, that was kind of troubling, because if you aren't willing to invest in a playmaker of that magnitude, solely for the reason of this mindset here, it's basically where I feel the holes are on the team. What are we doing? This falls right in line with what Steve was saying about hiring a bunch of average players and expecting them to become playmakers. It's a losing mindset.
So basically, what he was saying was basically he'll pay for the position if there's a need for the team.
Right.
So you're saying if that mindset is a losing mindset to you?
Well, I guess I'm simply saying if that's the only way that you're choosing to think.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that's what you say is your mantra going forward, and that's the credo I stand by, that I'm just going based on the holes on the team, right? And a player like McCaffrey comes open next year.
But see, that's I was going to hold my tongue, but that's the difference there. They have a premium for players like McCaffrey. How do I know that? Because look how they reacted when they lost McKissick.
Katie McKissick, yeah.
Yeah, when they lost him, they were pissed. Then they tried to replace him with, well, you had Isaiah McKenzie, you had Naeem Hines, you had Hardy. They paid Hardy $5 million for what? Whatever he's making now is nowhere near that. I guarantee it.
No,
but
no.
When it comes to McCaffrey or somebody like that, I don't even put McCaffrey and Barkley in the same bucket.
You don't?
Nah, because for me, like we talked about, I thought, and I'm a lot like that when it comes to a $15 million running back for what? No, well, McCaffrey is almost like a wide receiver too.
Okay.
So he's a hybrid that would be like a Hardy or somebody like that, like the guy that they lost from Washington, but better. And I think they would have paid for it if they could. But no, I do agree that with you in the sense that they do. He always says it. He tells you, I got a number. We got a number on this guy, and we'll see how close we are. So, I mean, it's twofold. It's troubling if it was one size fits all, and he values McCaffrey the same way he values, I'm not going to hit low-hanging fruit, Devin Singletary, and say Ty Johnson. If he said Ty Johnson is the same player as McCaffrey, then I got a problem.
Right.
Then I got an issue.
Right.
But McCaffrey, he loves that kind of player. That's what he's trying to find, and that's why. Oh, go ahead.
So I think I see what you're saying, because I agree with part of that, because McCaffrey, he's a game-changing player of what he brings to the table.
Well, I think Saquon Barkley is in that same ilk.
I do too. I put him in the same category, because to me, this is my analysis. McCaffrey's a great running back, but he's a better wide receiver.
True.
I think Barkley's the opposite. He's a better running back, but he gives you that wide receiver option as well.
True.
So I think if you put them both on the same, both side by side, their overall brings the same output to the team. I think this guy's a better runner. This guy's a better receiver. They can do both very, very well. 1 and 2 all day long. So I will put him in the same category. But I do see what he's saying as far as the caliber of player and what it can do to the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my only thing is this: if my biggest hole is let's say quarterback, I don't have a problem with breaking a bank to getting that hole filled. I don't have a problem with that, right? Where if I got other holes where it's not a big hole, but it's still something I should address, I might not break the bank to fix this position because push come to shove, I could put a couple backs up and then it just holds me over to where, you know what I'm saying, we could play and we could still win. Case in point, KC, Snead, bye-bye.
They don't care.
Edwards, bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
MVS, you just run the bye-bye, right? Because we can win without you, right? I get it, you're a good player, but we're not paying you because we got bigger fish to fry.
That was Belichick's mantra for years.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of see both sides of it. Like I see the value of valuing holes because that's your biggest hole. You want to do whatever you can to fix it. Yeah. But at the same time, like there's a different caliber of players. Like he said, like even with Cook, like I think Cook is really, really good.
Right.
He's not McCaffrey. Not to say that he can't get there, but right now
he's not.
McCaffrey's McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Barkley's Barkley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what you said is why I don't put him in the same category.
Because of he's better receiving and he's better running.
Yeah, he's a running back, but he could beat you as a wide receiver.
Yes.
You know, and he can beat you on the ground. Whereas Saquon's going to, you know, he can beat you on the ground, but I don't think he's as much of a threat in the air.
He can do it, but not as good as McCaffrey.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying he's, you know, it's a big gap.
Right.
For what their skill sets are, I don't put them in the same. You know, I think McCaffrey is more in the line of like a Hardy or not because they're good, but that kind of player. And I think McDermott. Matter of fact, didn't Bean draft McCaffrey? He did.
Yes.
He did.
Yeah, well, so that's something that Steve is saying too. He said Bean drafted McCaffrey and made calls when he was available, so that might bust your narrative. So in the context of that comment, I obviously I can't agree with that because the Bills traded for Stephon Diggs. They didn't sign him in free agency. The only big name player that they've gone after so far in free agency and spent money on and placed value on highly has been Von Miller. Everybody else has been, you know, basement bargains. Even Mitch Morse, when we signed him, basement bargain because of his concussion issues. And that's why no other team was willing to pay him what we were willing to pay him. That's why he comes here. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he had a ton of value and can choose wherever he wanted to go. This was just the best option of a bunch of time.
So you got to remember Josh was in Josh at the time, so there really was no incentive to come to Buffalo.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, in terms of the value you place in free agency, I mean, Saquon Barkley was available. You didn't. I mean,
we made some calls.
You
know, we make some calls. You know,
right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know you want a strong run game, yes, James Cook is nice, right? But for what Saquon Barkley got paid, you could have paid him that to come here, right? And then you could have had something like what Green Bay has had for the last 4 years.
But would you make that price? Would you hurt your pockets to get him?
Well, right. So, and I wanted to address that to what you said too. I get what you're saying. So, what I think happens when you commit to a contract like that is this. First off, you already want to be a strong run team, right? And there's a good book that I read that says where your treasure is, there your heart is also, right? So if that's really your focus, is to you know, or if your desire is to really get strong in the run game, the two parts of that component is offensive line, which you believe you've strengthened, and then running back, right? Now, you've already shown you don't trust the starting running back that you have in short yardage situations, right? Now, for what you're paying him, you can get away with getting another veteran on the team that you might be paying a little bit more, right? So with that being the case, yeah, if I give Saquon Barkley that contract, it's because I'm already having a mindset to invest in the run game and bolster that so that it becomes a strength. And if that makes it so that I can't sign Cameron Curl, or
Yo,
I can't,
okay. Yo. Pause. Literally. Hold that thought.
Every time you disagree with me, I'm finding a way to put that into the conversation.
Yo, it was in my head. I'm like $4.3 million. Couldn't come up with 4.3.
But yeah, so like that's that. If signing a guy like Barkley makes it so that I have to do something I'm already doing with these other positions in terms of the contracts that I'm offering, the caliber of player that I'm like, they're already getting guys that are like just barely average starters. You know what I'm saying? So if you're already slumming it, in terms, and no disrespect to these players, obviously they're NFL caliber players, but if you're slumming it in that sense, why not just spend the money on something you want to be great anyway? You know what I mean? It's not like you're really putting a ton of money into anything else. I mean, a good majority of their money, if not all their money on defense, is still on defensive line right now. Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, and Von Miller. They got the bulk of the pay on the defense.
Yeah, it's funny because it used to be secondary. They got rid of all three of them.
Right, right. So that tells me that's what they want to focus on defense in terms of where they're investing that money. Now on offense, where have they invested the most money?
Quarterback.
That's it. They traded for Stephon Diggs. The contract they gave to Curtis Samuel, how much is he getting this year?
3.9.
Right. So how much did you really? You know what I'm saying? Like. It's more beneficial for Curtis Samuel to come here than it is for us to get him. Now, I wanted Curtis Samuel because it's a great fit. But if you look at the contract that he got, you stop right now.
You take back about Cameron Curl. Curl back.
I will say it again.
Hey, then I'm gonna do this all day. Huh. Let's ride.
God. Okay. Anyway.
I feel better now.
Anyway,
Right.
So yeah, that's my answer to that. I just think if you do pay that money, it's justifiable from the standpoint of they've already been putting average players everywhere else. Thoughts on that?
Some of the players that they got, I don't believe that they went and got people to take over. A lot of the pieces they got, I think they were just depth pieces.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not getting a guy to replace my starter. I'm getting a guy to back up. So I'm not going to throw a whole bunch of money to get these guys who's going to back them up. I just need depth. That's
Bean's mindset. You're looking at Curtis Samuel as a hedge that we don't get Brian Thomas Jr. We don't get the guy in the draft we want. We can say, hey, we got Curtis Samuel. We're good. You don't get, and I don't think Mac Hollins is getting enough conversation. It's like they just forgot about him already.
Hey, he's not that good, bro.
We'll see what
I know he's not, like but Curtis Samuel really hasn't done that much either. So it's like
I agree with that, but I think Curtis Samuel's skill set for what this offense needs, he's going to have way more production this year than he has before.
I think he has a good skill set to bring to the team. And one thing that I wanted to bring on the Friday show, you guys were talking about it. They utilized him in college more as a running back than they did wide receiver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had more rushing attempts than he had catches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So I don't think he ever had that full-on dedicated role to play wide receiver to where his numbers, I'm just up to part of his numbers. I think the potential is there. He can run, he can catch, he can do all those things. So I think technically this is the Deontay Hardy that we were looking for as far as running, catching, like being that pivotal part of the offense.
See,
I feel like he plays that role because he's like a slash. He's like the Cordero Patterson.
Where I feel where I struggle with that.
You don't want him to be?
No, that's fine. But he was a running back in college, wide receiver, but he still had a sub 10-yard average depth of target. He still had a sub 5 yard after catch average, which translated correctly almost exactly to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're gonna be, at that running back part-time wide receiver, I would think they would throw you deep. They would send you deep, more often than not. and he never was a deep threat. Even though he's got the speed, he never was a deep threat. He never was a yak threat. He was like a possession guy with speed. And
you talking about Samuel?
yeah,
Okay.
And I think that's what I expect. You know, and I didn't say Mac Hollins to say that he was going to be the starter or pushing for it. But
Who was this quarterback at? He was in from Ohio State, right?
yeah, he was Justin Fields.
He had 1 year with Burrow.
Samuel?
Yep.
Oh yeah, well Burrow didn't play at Ohio State though.
He was he there?
He was a backup.
No, he transferred
backup.
to
He was a
LSU to
backup.
play.
Backup. Yeah, I know he transferred, but he was on that roster.
He was on the route. I think Justin Fields was their quarterback.
Justin Fields is a
I believe
quarterback.
so.
Okay.
But-
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how many quarterbacks he had.
Well, that's kind of what I was pointing out because Steve wrote in about Samuel. His college numbers match his NFL numbers. Why do fans believe he's going to be so much better in Buffalo?
Steve,
Why?
my boy. No.
Where's the evidence?
JA-17.
Steve.
Right. I think that's exactly it. Because
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Every single player who was on another team that came to Buffalo improved, even Steph Diggs. Steph Diggs became the powerhouse when he got here.
yep.
John Brown became a powerhouse when he got here. Cole Beasley went up when he got here. All these players were, I'm not saying they were trash because they was not trash, but Josh Allen elevates anybody who plays with him. It's a known fact. Every player that's been up here elevated from Josh Allen.
Well, Steph Diggs did have some 2,000-yard seasons already before he came here. But
2000.
no 2,000-yard seasons. Yeah, not in one season. We were talking about something totally different. But no, I mean,
But
Josh Allen. But this is the thing. Josh Allen he's gonna make you better at what you do. And to me and Steve's point, Samuel, as fast as he is, that's not his game. He's
Right,
more of
but-
that. I think he's gonna be more of a volume guy. So he might get more looks, but I don't see the downfield threat.
I see what you're saying.
I don't see that changing because it never has been there. Even though you would think, looking at his measurables,
Right.
it's going to be there. That might not be what he wants to do. But you know, Mac Hollins to me reminds me more of Gabe Davis. When I watch his downfield, he's big, physical, slower, but he knows how to stack, which is weird to me. I definitely want to see Samuel's start if we can't get. There was a comment, I think McDermott said it. They were talking about. Oh, before I go into that comment, can we indulge something else here?
But
Do you mind, Ed? Do you mind indulging something else here?
It
Please.
depends.
When is the last time you, Junior, if you know what corduroys are, you can chime in. When's the last time you wore a pair of corduroys?
Oh my God.
wow.
You ever seen somebody with pants that go rip, 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 rip? You never heard that?
Yo, the last time
Okay, you ain't.
it was what's this 2024?
You wore corduroys in 2024?
Recently?
No, I'm saying
Oh,
2024.
yeah, for real, man.
I want to say it's been a while, bro.
About 20 years ago for me.
At least.
Yeah.
No, it's been longer than that because I was this hype, but I was in like
I would
eighth grade.
say I would say like 7 for me.
That's.
Because I had a nice pair, would go to a sweater, and I had some Timbs to go with it.
Okay.
It was a brown pair, so I had
I think everybody had the brown corduroys. It's
the
weird.
brown pair with the Timbs and the sweater.
But the reason I asked, did you hear McDermott's presser?
Nah.
You didn't listen. This is gonna be a gem. So when asked about the transition of football scheme, the defensive schemes, he said, it's like wearing a pair of corduroys. wait, no. Let me simmer on this.
He said, wait. He said, what's like a pair of corduroys?
He said, that's why you gotta let me go. Because he said the defensive schemes and the philosophies are like wearing a pair of corduroys. He said they might be in style today, but then they're not in style today. You don't want to wear them corduroys when they're not in style. He said, wait. He said, well, maybe you do want to wear the corduroys when you're not in style because that means you're different. Because basically what he was getting at was they were asking about, I think it might have been about Mike Edwards and about the two high shells and stuff like that. And is that the way the defense is going? And he basically said, that's the way it's going, but when he said you might want to wear corduroys when they're not in style, saying maybe you want to be different or be above, beyond the trend, in front of the trend. He
Don't
said,
do what everybody else do.
Yeah, he said, I think I got a pair of corduroys in my closet at home right now. I hope he busted him out for a game this year.
Man.
He has to. After Deion talking about macaroni and cheese 6 years ago in the corduroy. But the reason why I said that is because it made me think about Curtis Samuel and what he was talking about in the draft. Because McDermott said he's not satisfied with where we are. He's not satisfied with, because they asked about the pickups and all the personnel moves. So I'm not satisfied. So they were alluding to wide receiver.
Yes.
And in that same breath, that's when he was talking about the cover two shells and stuff like that. He said, everybody wants to go deep. They expect you to go deep. He said, but you got to get yak yardage. I'm like, Malachi Corley. He said, you want guys that can work over the middle.
Yes.
Lad McConkey. I'm like, I think we're looking at, if we don't go wide receiver in the first, I'm thinking Malachi Corley is going to be in his team somewhere.
You said all that to say that Malachi McCorley.
No. I said all that because I want to talk about McDermott and his corduroys.
Yeah.
I don't care about Malachi Corley.
It's been since 1986 for him.
Who's that?
Dang.
Outside looking at.
At least he ain't say Stonewash. He would say Stonewash.
The Jordache Stonewashes?
Yeah.
Remember they had
Wranglers.
different colors?
Yeah. We thought we were doing that.
Steve has some rebuttal for the for the every receiver does well here with Josh. He says Zay Jones stayed the same and Kelvin Benjamin regressed here.
Was Josh Allen JA-17 when those boys was here? There you go.
Okay.
There
So
you go.
I will re-rebut
That's a
that.
valid point.
I will re-rebut that then. So JA-17, he wasn't JA-17
And that's
until,
what Lindsay said too. They played with rookie Josh Allen.
But wait. So he wasn't JA-17 until when?
2020.
What happened in 2020?
Until Steph Diggs came.
Steph Diggs came. Steph freaking Diggs. He came to Buffalo, and they were symbiotic.
Hey,
Hold on.
I have to agree. I think they both
Go ahead, look it up.
improved
I'm confident.
each other.
I don't know what
Because
you're looking
listen, if you look at his stats, he got his career highs here in Buffalo with Josh. Josh got his career highs with Steph. Like it was a marriage made perfect. Like boom.
Pigskin heaven.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
What you got?
Yo, Curtis Samuel's target separation rate. First off,
Oh, he about to lay you out now.
Stephon Diggs target separation rate, right? He's so he the routes he run, he's so nasty, right? He's sick with it,
He's
right?
him.
His separation rate, 1.65
Yards?
of
So 2
separation
yards,
per target.
And he still had 107 catches for 1,200 yards in the offseason.
Okay? Boom. Here we go. Steve, this one's for you. Curtis Samuel's target separation rate, 1.92.
Okay. 3 attempts.
It's higher than Steph Diggs. It don't matter what it is. It's higher than Steph Diggs.
Okay.
So
What are you getting at?
what I'm getting at is why do we not think Curtis Samuel is going to be way better here when he's already getting the same target separation rate with bum quarterbacks?
So he got the same target separation rate, but his numbers were lower. His average depth of target was lower. His average yards after carry was lower.
Right, but
So-
that's because of his usage in the offense.
which is going to be pretty much consistent with what they do with them. Period. They're not sitting them on 9. They're not sitting them on deep flat. They're not sitting.
I'm not saying, but that's what I'm saying. So when you heard who was talking about it, Brandon Bean was talking about it today, right? He was talking about how Curtis Samuel was used as a running back and more so in college. Somebody was talking about that. I may have heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Bills know how to use them. They've been talking about yak yardage all season long.
Okay,
and they got a guy that gets
head.
this kind of separation.
This in your head.
This is going to be their underneath guy.
Pull
Him
up.
and matter of fact, Shakir. I think Shakir's got a higher rate.
Pull up. Curtis Samuel in, was it 2019? Because he played with Joe Brady
In Carolina?
in Carolina. What did he do? Because that's who's going to be using him now. That's who wanted him in Buffalo. So let's see what he did under Joe Brady.
Who was his QB?
Well, his best season was under Joe Brady.
That's
800 yards.
Right. Wasn't 1,000, okay?
What? Hold on. Well, you saying like Joe Brady was playing quarterback. Who was their quarterback?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's my point. Like everybody that keeps saying why y'all think Curtis said, because his best year was under Joe Brady. He's with Joe Brady now with a significantly better quarterback. And y'all think he only gonna do 800 yards? He gonna have at least 800 yards.
I think
800 yards.
I think his production, all his career stats are gonna go up in Buffalo
Right.
because of. But
I
I
can
also
go with that.
think, to me, this is me. I think he's gonna play the role that Deontay Hardy was supposed to play.
Well, see, I can see the thing is, I think that's disney. I'm not saying he's going to be here and do nothing. He's not going to be Gabe Davis here. I'm sorry, Mel. I'm sorry, all
Dude,
playoff Gabe.
did you see how much my man got paid? Everybody know that Gabe Davis is
You see
that
how
boy.
much we paid Deontay Hardy? That's all I gotta say.
Touche.
This is my thing. I'm not saying Curtis Samuel can't have an 800-yard season, but when
So you don't think he could have a 1,000-yard season here?
Steve, let me speak for you. Let me know if I'm wrong. When people think this guy is going to be this guy now, they're talking like he's going to be some 1,200-yard receiver, some 80 catch receiver, some 10 touchdown out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you, I can see him doing what he's been doing. 800 yards his best season. I can see him best in that, but I don't think he's going to be looking like a number one receiver.
I mean, because that's the thing. To me, he's a number two. He's never been that number one.
I can go
guy,
with that.
But I don't think the Bills are looking to make him a number
No,
one.
I know.
You
But what I'm saying, but
saying?
what me and Steve are saying is, why do people think he don't come in here and just be some dude that's going to threaten Stephon Diggs for number one? And,
Oh no! I think
that's where.
I think to your point. I hate to say it because I do like my man Gabe, but I think he's going to be way better than Gabe Davis.
And that's not even being funny. Because, like I said, Gabe was miscast. This wasn't the offense for him. So when he goes to Jacksonville, like I think you said
He
like, a
gonna blow
while
up.
ago, if he blows up, it's because they use him differently. They use him to his strength.
And then Peterson was talking about him today. They was talking about Gabe Davis. He was like, "Oh yeah," he had a big smile on his face. He's like, "Yeah, we knew we wanted to get Gabe Davis." He was like, "He has what he listed off his numbers like his snaps and like his targets, and he was like, yeah, he's an 80 target guy. Like they're definitely going to incorporate him in their offense.
Yeah.
Like I said, right now on the depth chart, he might not be the number one guy, but I think he's going to get a bulk share of those targets.
He
with
definitely
Trevor
going to be
Lawrence.
number two. Definitely going to be number two at least.
He might even jump Kirk. I think I'm telling you, Gabe Davis is gonna be that dude. In
Yo, why you smiling
Jacksonville,
so
man.
hard when it comes to Gabe?
Cuz, man.
He got a
Yeah,
man.
This is my
ear to ear.
because this is my opportunity, man. When week by week, I'm be like,
As his numbers start to pick
so,
up.
yo, so you know how we got stuff we heard. It's gonna be
The Gabe watch.
the Gabe Davis watch.
No! I
we get
thought
the
we
show.
got away from him finally.
Melly Mack on the Gabe Davis report.
What do you got, man?
Did you see Gabe Davis has another 25 yards, another 30 catches, and another 5 yards. He's also leading number 4 in touchdowns.
Like, wow, yeah. I mean, I like I said, he wasn't dumpster juice, but just in Buffalo didn't work out. Now, like I said, I think Curtis Samuel is going to be productive, assuming they don't take somebody in the first round. Because
Steve, okay, he's saying Samuel is a number 3 or 4. Trust me.
Wow.
Seriously, Steve? I thought we was cold, man. The last couple episodes we've been vibing, man.
Hey.
Like, okay,
All right,
in all seriousness, so the other thing he said was who was covering Samuel. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before that, he said against the second best cornerback in the NFC South. Wow. And then he said who was covering Samuel exactly. But the reason I brought up the target separation rate is because that accounts for every team he's played.
Oh, I got a red flag on that one.
What?
He played. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the Commanders in the Cowboys division?
yeah,
Well, I think yeah.
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 So you got Dallas defense. You got the Eagles defense.
Yep.
Giants is they were whatever, but
Right.
he got some talent on defense.
Yeah. And
was he a slot in Washington?
He was number 2.
Yeah, he was a number 2.
But so basically, you got Scary Terry, him, and you got Dotson, right? They were.
Yeah.
Scary Terry. I like how he puts nicknames in there with like seamlessly.
Oh yeah,
Just casually, right?
Wide receivers.
But-
That's my thing, right?
Yeah, and in Carolina he was more so like slot guy, right? I mean he played some number 2, and then I think like towards the end of the season he was playing more number 2 because Robbie Anderson got hurt. But even with that, the reason I brought up target separation rate is that accounts for every corner he's played against. Period, right? And I mean we can go back and look at schedules if you really want to, but to me, in my mind, it's like that should say it all right there. He's got a higher target separation rate than Steph Diggs. Guess who else has a higher target separation rate than Steph Diggs?
A bunch of people.
Tupac.
Oh yeah.
His is higher than Curtis Samuel.
Okay, so this is the kick. This is the kick. Oh, go ahead. You first.
So I'm really thinking about this draft. Like, this is always on my mind, dude. So, like, here's my thing. Like you said with McDermott, I still think they still draft a guy. But here's the thing. Let's just say the world and the universe is in our grasp, and we can get, let's say, Brian Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs, Thomas, Samuel, Shakir.
I'm going 4 wide all day long.
That's what I'm saying, but we can make it work, but how are they going to utilize all that? They can't.
You can't.
Right. It's too many weapons.
It can't be another slot guy. That's
what I'm saying. So like, so it's going to be a drop off. Either you're not going to see enough Tupac, you're not going to see Kincaid and Knox. Like,
that's why I think they are not going to draft a receiver in the first round, because if they did get a guy like Brian Thomas, you have to play that guy.
Yeah, I think they
should.
You
have to.
I think they should.
But
right, I agree with that.
No,
yeah.
Now the other McDermottism that comes in is we know how he is with
rookies.
Yeah.
Well,
so
his defensive rookies.
So I can see him. I can see him. Yeah, right. He'll trust the defensive ones.
Offense he played, but
I can see him. I can see him.
Not even, because Kincaid was out there.
Kincaid started. Torrance started.
See,
Spencer Brown
to
was
me, the offensive line is
started.
different, though.
Well, I mean,
kind of different.
Well, you had his boy Devin Singletary on his way out. He had to let him play a swan song and get his money, but Cook was doing his thing, and then Shakir he pooped on.
But I could see them getting a guy in the first round, and like I said, not kind of playing them like the James Cook. Put him in time every once in a while, not giving him a dedicated snap target, blah, blah, blah. I could see him doing that. That's why I think it could work. But here's the thing, because to me, I don't think, unless we make it to the Super Bowl, I don't think Steph is here next year. I just don't. I think this is his last year. If we don't win, I think he's gone, whether trade or whatever. So I think that it kind of plays his way out. Whoever we get in the first round, now you move him to the 1. Now you got Samuel at 2, and you got Shakir at 3 with Kincaid and Knox. So I still think that we draft them. We just can't see them all on the field at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I think Diggs and Shakir are the safe ones. The other, the X or whatever you want to call it, that's the position up for grabs. So
you think Shakir is a lock?
Yeah. I think he's lock in the slot. So I don't think you're gonna. And that's why I don't think Corley.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I don't think Corley's gonna be a Bill.
And that's the only thing we're talking about, like fit wise. Like, he's a great wide receiver and he'll be there, but just to, like you said with Gabe Davis, he was on the team, but it didn't fit him.
Right.
I think it'll be the same thing if we get Corley. He'll be a great player, but it wouldn't fit.
I could see the Bills holding off for like Kamani Vidal or something like that. The running back out of Troy. He's a major receiving threat.
Dude, if that's the case, give me Jalen Wright from Tennessee.
Well, no, see, I say Kamani because that's a 7th rounder, and he's a receiving threat.
Oh, I got you.
He's a mass, and that goes in like we were talking about with McCaffrey. Yeah, that's the kind of guy Bean likes. He likes that receiving guy that can get loose, but he's going to kill you in the that's his claim to fame. But no, to circle back on the same thing, I really think the separation is skewed. The reason why I say that is because Samuel probably played in the slot more than Diggs did, because you see that Shakir played in the slot more than Diggs, and he has a higher rate of separation than both of them.
And this was Diggs' off year because he had that after that second half, his numbers dropped a lot.
Well, he's off, but see, when you're in the slot, you're manufactured to work that middle in the zone, and nobody's around you. So when they throw you that ball, that's like 5 yards right there because you're working a weak point in the defense.
Do they count? Does that
if they throw the ball,
does
it counts.
that stat count in the separation too?
If they throw the ball, it counts.
Yeah, it just counts all separation from any defender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like he's running this way and the receiver is this far behind him. The defender is this far back from him.
Did they throw him the ball?
Well, yeah, it takes that. Yeah, so like if Samuel was running a go route or something like that, and the cornerback just whiffs on that route, it counts that separation between the two. Yeah,
but it also counts too if he drops in the zone and he's wide open. Boom, they're gonna Yep,
and that happens almost always when you're in the slot. So I expect that to be higher. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how much Samuel lined up in the slot last year because I don't watch Commanders, but I can look it up, and it's probably
it's weird because there's been games where I've seen all 3 of them line up in the slot.
Oh yeah,
Not the same,
They-
of
they
course not the
move
same
around.
time, but
They
like
move
scary.
Well, that'd be hard to do. That'd be hard.
Like
First
scary,
guy in,
like-
last guy out.
Dude, I saw Terry McLaurin in the slot. I've seen Dotson in the slot. I've seen Samuel in the slot. So it's like there's like plug and play, and that's another thing about scheme. They got the same wide receiver 3 times, pretty much.
Steve says, "Stop trying to convince people Gabe is a real number 2. He's number 3. Stop lying to the people."
Hey,
Hey,
all I'm gonna say is look at the stats when the season starts.
I guess it's official now.
Hey.
We're doing a game
The
watch.
Gabe
for
Davis
season.
report will be every week.
it's a game report.
The Gabe Davis report.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh! All right. So there was one more part of this, Brandon Bean, if I may.
I'm sorry, we done took over. I'm sorry, we
No,
took
it's,
over.
it's cool. It's cool. So Brandon Bean was asked, do you feel comfortable that you haven't painted yourself into a corner with what's been done in free agency? He goes, are there some holes? Yes, but I don't feel like, man, there's something gaping where we got to fill that spot in round 1 or 2 per se. That scares me.
Gaping holes.
That scares me. That scares me, because at that point you're getting into, oh, a center is the best player available. We'll take him.
Well, if it's JPJ, okay,
Now, is he saying that because he don't want to seem vulnerable? He don't want to show his card,
might be.
right? I mean, I kind of
There's
take
that too.
that information with a grain of salt. Like, I know what it sounds like, but I don't read into it too heavily because it could be doing it for a purpose, for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's possible. I think for the most part, Brandon Bean feels confident. Like I said a million times. I'm not going to say it too many more times. But Curtis Samuel signing, he's like, we've got this guy. We've got McGovern. We've got these guys that can be starters if we need them. If I can't get who I want in the draft, but I'm always going to try to get better with the best player available.
Right.
Which is contrasting to what McDermott said, where he said, I'm not satisfied.
Right.
So I mean, you could take it like you said, either way you want to take it. But I think Bean's approach is, look, I got our bases covered, and all we can do is make it better. We don't have holes, we can make it better.
And I'm okay with that because to me, I'm the type of guy, I never put all my eggs in one basket. Right? You always got to have a backup plan just in case, because sometimes things are not going to work out the way you want it to go. And matter of fact, and in my life, most of the time, the way I see things, it doesn't happen that way anyway. So I always got to pivot and go another route. But I'm glad that Brandon Bean has that mindset to where if this doesn't work, well, we got this. If this don't work, like it might not be what the fans want to hear. Like, of course, we want the studs, right?
Yeah.
But if we can't get that stud or something don't happen where it doesn't fall to us, at least we got somebody. You know what I'm saying? We're not dead. We're not just, out there.
I like it. I liken it to just what you said. I mean, would you rather have Curtis Samuel as that right now number 2, or would you rather have Deontay Hardy sitting there? Would you
that's
rather
a good
have? And that's the thing you got to think about when people say, "Well, we didn't." I mean, he didn't say he was done.
Right.
Even in free agency, he said we're not done yet. Just don't expect that big splash.
And I know he's not done because I know how he is when it comes to draft. Like, he's a fiend with them picks, man.
He really is.
Yeah.
He likes his pick. He's like me.
And listen, people don't like sometimes he's too aggressive, sometimes not aggressive enough, but he's moving. He can't
Always.
sit still, man. Like he's not that guy who's gonna sit still. Like, even to me, I think he's the guy. Let's see, what can I do?
Right. Who can I call?
Right. Not even I need to do it. I just want to see what can I get
wanna
away
see what I
with.
can do. And that's he says that.
Yeah.
He said, and I used to piss A off with our drafts on Madden because what I do, my guy's not there. Let me trade back 4 spots to give another. Remember that one time I had like 5 first-round draft picks and I had like 20 draft picks?
Bro,
He was so mad.
I was pissed. Not only did I have to sit through all these trades, right? I'm like, yo, just pick somebody.
Just pick your guy.
It's a fat dude right there. He's from Hawaii. Draft the dude. You like the Samoans anyway.
I'm like, you know what? This is a good trade.
Right.
When you push the button.
Yo, I used to go nuts.
Partially, I did it on purpose, but then I was like, yo, that's a good value. That's a hell of a deal. I'm about to take that.
And
He's like,
it would be like the slowest dude in the draft, and he's like, "Oh, that's a good value." What? But look at his shuttle score. What? Why?
yo, I really did. I did.
Why? This like stuff that really like. So you got to keep in mind. We talking about like
I'm talking about combine numbers.
We talking about like Madden 2004 on. Like
That's when it was fun. It was fun back then.
No doubt. But like in those Maddens, it wasn't taking all of this stuff into like significant detail in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like speed, agility, acceleration,
Awareness.
jump,
Boom.
awareness, catch,
Boom. Yep.
basic stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not short route running and deep route running, like none of that stuff. And he was still looking at shuttle scores.
But
Like,
I used it,
bro,
did I not?
That ain't gonna make no difference at all in the game.
But I know why Key did that.
Why?
I know why. Where was Key's bread and butter?
The short game.
Nope. College football.
Oh, yeah.
He was the guru of college football, and that's when those things count in college. Like all those things count in college. They didn't translate it in Madden, but they counted in college.
Yeah.
But today's Madden, I can't.
I hate
it's-
the scouting.
The reason why I don't like the Madden
You
now,
got the newest one?
Not 24.
I can't play none of the new ones because now they're gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a video, this kid literally ran the same play over and over again, and the guy got pissed off. He was like, "Dude, it's not even fun." Like it was an option route where the quarterback runs out and he passes it opposite side to the running back, and there's nobody out there.
Yep.
It's a broken play.
Yeah.
That's how these tournament guys do. They just use broken
They find
plays,
broken plays, yep.
and they run it, rinse and
Over
repeat,
and
rinse and
over
repeat.
and
To me,
over
that's
and
not
over.
fun. That's not football.
Right.
You're just playing to just say you can't stop this.
Right.
That's not fun. That's not
not-
football.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Back when we were playing,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, there were some broken plays, but it wasn't like that to that
Like
extent
that.
where
And
you
we
could
didn't-
run the
we
same
didn't- we
play
didn't
100
use them
times.
Like that. Like if we know what they were, we were like, all right, I'll take one. But or you find out while you're playing it, this play's broken, but you don't use it and just keep going and
Right.
going. This is dumb.
Right.
You know why they don't do that stuff in real life?
What?
Because you can get punched in the face in real life. Like, keep calling that same play.
And hey, the dude was, you could hear the intensity of the anger this dude was, bro.
I'll be tight too.
He's about to just throw the game like I quit. Like, are you kidding me?
was
Like,
doing
why would you do that?
Oh, you want to put wings on that, Rich?
What? do you-
Wow.
What?
Rich said, I'll dust Key in college. Yo, them fighting words, bro. Yo.
All I'm saying was Keyshawn was the best college football player
Yo,
I've ever seen.
hands
Ever.
Down. Hands
Who
down.
would I use?
UB.
UB. All day
Oh,
long.
nobody but UB.
Right.
I'm beating Notre Dame with UB. UB.
I remember I was playing it, trying to play it like Madden. He's like, nah, you can't do that in this one. That ain't gonna work, man. That ain't gonna work in this game.
Yo, for real. I think I tried college one time and I hated it.
You did.
I could not do it.
You
I was
did.
like, Key, I don't know how you do it, but you got this, bro. This is your world.
By the time I got done, UB Stadium was full. It was filled to capacity.
Right.
I heard EA is bringing that back.
Yeah.
They bring
College,
it back.
yeah.
They bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I'm about to go get that. I'm gonna be online. First day, I'm online to get that. I might go outside a GameStop.
Wow. Rich is saying, let's make it a live episode.
Ooh, that would be
with
fun.
the new game?
Yeah.
Okay.
That-
Rich, that'd be dope, man.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that.
Let's make it happen.
I would
Let's make
pay
it
to
happen.
see
We put it
that.
on the docket.
Okay.
When it comes out what, this year? The college?
Does it?
Next year?
I've seen trailers, so
I don't know when it
it's
comes.
in the process. I don't know
It's
when
like
it's dropping.
GTA. Every time it gets close,
They
they just
keep
move
pushing
it.
it back.
Yeah, I don't know when it's
Dangling that
dropping.
carrot.
But
Well, they
yeah.
making too much money off of that RP now.
I know. Oh, no.
Like that RP is making so much money. This game has made more and more money over a 10-year span than Madden has made in the entire franchise. It has
And they do
to
no
have.
work. They just take the same engine and they just keep changing. They paint the
But
different
here's,
scenarios.
Like
That's
here's
it.
the killer part. Like this ain't even GTA on PlayStation. These are computer mods that
Yeah.
people have created.
Yeah.
Like, but they just get licensed to do it.
I saw a dude make a whole New York City joint on Grand Theft Auto
What?
4.
They just
Like literally New York. He had New York, like he lives in New York and he put it on and he knew what streets, he knew where he was. He knew where the convention center was.
I had a game like that. What game was that? It wasn't GTA. It was like a knockoff.
The Saints Row?
No, it was a knockoff, but it had because remember Christina went to Kenesha's and
Yeah.
all they're like, yo, that's my street. I'm like, you kidding me? Like I turned down the street and it was literally the map of New York City.
You see him outside?
It was the exact one, but I forgot what game it was. It was one of those. It was a game like GTA and like Saints Row. but it
Wait.
wasn't.
Was it True Crime?
Yes,
True Crime.
True Crime.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It
That
had
makes
the
sense.
exact blueprint of New York City.
That was a good game.
And I was surprised because I thought, this is a video game. She's
Right.
like, no, bro, like, turn down the street. This is, I'm like, what? That's sweet.
Like the bodega right there. Okay,
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah.
They got the chopped cheese. Yeah.
That's crazy. So Rich said, "Word, I'm in. We need a censored episode." LMAO. I mean, hey, listen, y'all can say whatever y'all gotta say. Ain't no kids watching this.
But the funny thing about this, Rich don't know me that well. When I play, am I amped? Do I get amped when I play?
No, not at all.
I'll be silent. I'll be like
Yeah.
a church mouse. I'll just be like, I don't know how to talk mess.
So I'll put it like this, Rich. Like I'm the type of player where, like, I didn't need to get into the broken plays because I understood the mechanics of the game so well, and I understood, like, once they put ball placement into the game, like, there was nothing, like, they'll tell you, basically nothing you could do at that point, right? And still to this day, the only people that I've lost to in the entire world have been these two. And that's because they've played with me so much and gotten used to how I play. So all of that is to say, Keyshawn's style, the way he plays, it's like he goes into the game trying to piss you off.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
he don't care about nothing else other than getting you off your game so that he can just methodically play his own.
He doesn't play Madden like a traditional Madden player. He plays it like a real NFL game, and it's
Exactly.
not designed
That's how
that
I
way.
play. That's literally
it's
how
not
I go
designed.
into it. I literally go into it that way.
Yeah.
I want it to look like TV.
Yeah.
He breaks the game in a sense. Like, he took like we talking about, like, Madden 2004, 2005, 2006. Like, those were arcade style games.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you ran simulation, they were still arcade. Like you could still with the mechanics and you know, all the different things that you can manipulate. And our games would be like 10 to 7. Like, it used to drive me insane. Like, yo, get out the way, bro. Stop. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Anytime we played Key, the score was low. Anytime me and A played, it was like,
It was
65,
like bombs away.
54.
It's like bombs away. I'm like,
It
yo.
was like 150 points total. Like, between the two of us, yo.
I'm like,
We
yo,
would play
what's
the way
going
you're
on?
supposed to play.
right.
No punt offense.
Yes.
I'm kicking field goals. I'm punting.
Rich says, been there, done that. There are tryhards on Madden 24 everywhere. LMAO. Oh, he's talking a big one, man.
He is.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
I want to get to this. I want to get to the Steve comment real quick. He said,
In 2024 Madden.
huh?
2024 Madden is obviously the worst Madden. 2023 is worse. 22 is worse.
Anything after create a team it sucks. I'll put it like that.
Chris, you're definitely wrong.
Like, Rich,
about tryhards.
You are playing. You are good at the worst Madden ever. I'll put it like that.
That's tough.
Really quick though, I thought this was kind of funny. Steve said, you know, the Bills ran 3 running plays over and over against Dallas, and Dallas just took it, and that's in real life. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yep.
But I mean, you know, even at that point, as a player, I'm going over to the other team before the huddle, you know, gets together. Like, yo, y'all run that play one more time, right?
I'm gonna snatch him in his
And you can
kneecaps
see-
off.
Yeah, huh?
I'm gonna snatch him in his kneecaps off.
Right. You can see Thermo like, well, stop it then.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna cup you. I'm gonna cup check you next time. Like, come on, run that ball up the middle. If I'm gonna turn into Wilkins real quick. All right. So
While we were talking, I did do the math on Curtis Samuel last year. He ran almost exclusively out of the slot.
Did he really? Oh, he had a lot of Scott.
Out of
Scott
572 snaps, he had 404 out of the slot.
wow.
Yeah. So So they're gonna try him outside because they're not moving secure. That's
They can't.
Nah,
man.
they're
Unless they move Shakir outside.
Hey, would you be mad if they did?
How big is Shakir?
Not that big. He's like
5'10"?
6 feet.
He's 6 feet.
He's like 6'5", 11, 6 feet. Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued. Like, I love what I saw what he did last year. I don't know if I'm at the point where I don't want to change it because it looks so good.
Yeah.
Or if I
I'm
want
at
to
that
change
point.
it and see what else he can do.
Has
I'm
he
at
ever
that
played
point.
outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to say him. Didn't he do
At
it both
Boise.
in Boise?
He did everything.
And they
in
had
Boise.
that weird blue field. It's hard to look at.
But you like that field though for some reason. Let's see, Khalil Shakir in 2021. We'll say his senior year. He was majority slot, but he ran 161 out of 789 snaps on the wide side. So he's done it.
Yeah, he might be more comfortable in the slot, but he can do the outside.
Yeah, he's 6 feet 190. He ran a 4.44. So yeah, I mean he's got the speed, he's got the size. He's the same size as Diggs, really.
I think I would be very interested in that competition. That would be a really good competition. Yeah. I'm for it. I love Shaquille.
Wait, now let me ask you this though. Think about it from this perspective. We can honestly say we know Shaquille and Samuel are both good in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
So as a coach, would you want whoever's the best on the outside, or would you want the best in the so basically what I'm getting at, let's say Samuel is better in the slot than Shaquille, right? But one of them can play better on the outside. Are you gonna basically would you put him on the outside just because you know you're good in the slot, or do you want the best person in the slot? Did that make sense?
Yeah. So I would do it this way. Like I think I've already kind of settled in my mind. Like if like I didn't know Shakir was this tall. If Shakir can play outside, I want him outside.
You want him outside?
I want him outside because Samuel has played running back, so he can deal with the hits. He can play against linebackers, right? He's done it already. So I know his body can take the hits over a span of a 17-game season. So easy, put him there, let him get the run after catch, and now I got a guy that I know I can trust his hands, like to make contested catches or make big time catches, whatever.
Yeah.
On the outside in Shakir. Yeah. And I like his route running too. His target separation, whether even though he was playing in the slot, it's still good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So sure. I would take that on the outside all day long.
What about you, Key?
For me, I think it's tough because I know what Shakir is capable of in the slot. But I think Bean alluded to the fact that Curtis Samuel can be used in the same way as you can use McKenzie or Hardy. So a lot of jet sweeps, things like that, where he's going to run the ball, he's going to probably catch the ball out of the backfield, maybe split sets with James Cook. But for me, if Shakir is if he's that guy in the slot as he showed last year, I want to see him stay there.
You want to see him stay there? You would rather stay there.
Yeah. I mean, because it gets murky. Because we'll say they draft somebody. Now it's a three-way competition between Shakir, Samuel, and the draft guy on the outside, and whoever loses goes to the inside. But then now it's too murky for me, because I think you could get away with using Samuel in more ways by keeping Shakir in the slot. That's just how I think. I mean, I can't see a reason why I say you guys are wrong or anything like that. I agree, right. But for me, selfishly, that's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, because theoretically, I see both situations could definitely play out. Because, like I said, we both know they're good in the slot. We already know that, right? But so, like, as a team, I want who's ever better on the outside. Like, I'll sacrifice you knowing what you can do in the slot because I know he can do it. But we need somebody on the outside.
Now, what I would question. And I just thought about it while I was sitting here. Curtis Samuel, his big season was, what was that, 2020?
Yes.
That was his 800 yards season.
His 800-yard season. Where did he line up? He was, he was more wide than he's been, but he was still majority slot. So the number decreased. He had 70 snaps out of the backfield, 12 in line. Yeah. So that's.
And if you think about it, jet sweeps work when you come from the outside and you run across.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. I just don't want Diggs to be the deep guy. Please don't make him a deep guy.
I know. I did. Yeah. Okay. I think they figured that out last year. I mean, that has to be part of the reason why they went out and got another guy like Curtis Samuel. So now you got two faster guys on the field that can get deep and still make plays over the middle. Daniel writes in, Herb Jefferson is getting shopped. Diggs should start recruiting for a reunion.
Yeah. I mean.
Okay. So I don't. My initial thought is there's been a lot of rumors surrounding Jefferson, right? They have an offensive-minded head coach excuse me, that has shown that he can bring something to the table in terms of being able to get that offense to move in the passing game. I don't think the Vikings can justify getting rid of the only thing that they have that's going to entice a college quarterback or an NFL quarterback to come to their team.
Well, you can get Shador last year there in the dome.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Or the only thing they could do, because I've heard, which I would really be pissed off. I heard him. There's a possibility that, which it doesn't make sense to me, which I think is just all malarkey, but him going to Cincy to reunite with Joe Burrow and Chase, that LSU team. But it'll make sense because if you're not going to pay T, why would you pay more? I mean, I get it.
Exactly.
The bigger player, more.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But to your point, what's in it for Minnesota? I mean, they could do what they did when they traded Diggs to us and just go replace him with number one, like Neighbors or a Dunze. Like, you could replace him in the draft, but he's already a solid pivotal point of your offense and your team.
100%.
You have no running back. You got rid of your running back. I mean, you got a new one in. You got a new quarterback. Like, he's the only familiarity you got on the team. So I can't see them giving him up for that easy. I mean, crazier things have happened, but they would have to give him a king's ransom.
And who was this? You said Daniel?
Yeah. Daniel McLeod.
That's a new name, right?
It is.
Welcome.
It's not his first time. It's not his first time. He's been here before.
Oh, he's commented before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still welcome.
Yeah.
But no, this is where I'm gonna put a hole right in that, and you know what I'm gonna say. You guys know me well enough to know. There's no world where you can afford that. There's no world where it can be done.
The great equalizer. The salary cap.
Could you think about a world where Joe Brady had JA-17, Steph Diggs, and Justin Jefferson on the same team? How is that even fair? That'd be like Chris Paul and Kobe being on the same team when they vetoed that. That's a cheat code. You want to talk about cheat codes? Justin Jefferson going deep is Steph Diggs working underneath.
Oh, my God.
And Josh Allen scrambling all over.
Oh, my God.
You know how much space there'd be if Josh Allen had a guy like Jefferson on the field? Everybody be chasing him.
Yeah.
Josh would be leading the league in rushing.
That's why I still believe that the salary cap hurt the NFL, man.
Well,
if this was the 90s, we would have that. We would have that right now.
He said we would have that. Well, if this is the 90s, there'd be a lot of different things that might occur.
Yeah.
So, a lot of different things, in a vacuum maybe. But no, that would be just Joe Brady and Josh Allen. That'd be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yo, Steve.
He's still getting you.
I might have to bet Steve some wings on this, man, because he keeps saying, like, for real, he said, I see Samuel and Shakir being number 3 and 4 on the field at the same time or being rotated when we go into 12 personnel. Can we stop saying number 3 and 4? Like, both of these dudes are 2 and 3 respectively. Like, I'm willing to put money that either one of these dudes are either in the slot starting or outside starting. Either way,
Telegram.
These are the two that I'm banking on go into the season week 1 as the starting wide receivers opposite Stephon Diggs.
Okay, so Steve, who's number 2? If
well, he's saying a drafted wide receiver. I'm
just
certain that's where he's going to go.
Who's he got? Realistically, without trading up to 6.
So at 28.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and I'm being
Steve?
not even being facetious. I'm curious, like, what is the contention? Because like Max said, at the top 8 are going. Are you going with? I don't even know what you're going with at that point.
I don't know. Like, so we're at we got 27th or 28th?
28.
So like, I could see a world where we move up 7 to get Ladd. Like, he might be there or Mitchell might be there, but that's a big maybe. That's a big might.
I could see them trading down into a world where they're comfortable with Leggett. I could see that. Legette's a late second round pick. I could see him in a world, even though he's 6'1", 230, David Boston style, even though everybody thought he was 6'3". He's 6'1", 230, runs a 4.3, whatever. I could see them trading down to get him.
Trading down to like the 40s, like 40s, 50s, because like I don't think he's going to last to the 60.
No, he's not. Well, I don't want to say he's not, because he might be one of those guys that you don't anticipate. Yeah. But in the 40s, I'd say 39 pick up.
See, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Ooh.
I mean, I can see. I mean, if he,
Hey.
but that's the top 8 that Max
my-
isn't there.
I like him, man.
I would be happy with him.
I'd be
I
fine
really
with
would.
Adonai. I mean, I'd be fine there. I mean, like obviously my guy is, believe it or not, it's starting to be Ladd McConkey.
Really?
It's really starting to be Ladd McConkey.
I would be happy with that too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
So wait, so they had on Good Morning Football, you know, they had the top 3. We already know the top 3, but they had the next 3, and they had Adonai, McConkey, and they had Thomas. Mm-hmm. Who would you want out of those 3?
You know what you but okay, so this is where it gets sticky. Because as much as I love Brian Thomas, he's a slot. He ran a lot of slot.
Brian Thomas.
He didn't play
Brian
outside.
Thomas, he played outside, but he did a lot of work in the slot.
He did a lot of work. Gotcha.
Really?
Yeah, he did a lot of work
At
in the
that
slot.
size?
Yeah, and that was a mismatch. He just
Yeah, it's a mismatch. Yeah, like I mean,
Took off
you
one.
figure you got neighbors on this side. He's already probably gonna get double coverage, so this
Yeah.
dude could probably eat.
yeah, he ate.
Wow.
So yeah, he played a lot of slot. So my thing is, if you're gonna use him on the outside, cool. See, McConkey, I thought was a slot, and then I really watched him. I was like, oh, he ain't no slot. He out there.
Yeah, outside guy.
Yeah, so I'm like, I like this, and I like the fact he has the racks. He has. See, I wanted. That's the thing I've been wanting forever. Even when we got Diggs, we never had a rack guy, a guy that catches it short and goes long.
Right.
No threat of it. So I'm like, let me get one of those, please.
But see, so this is the part that I'm like super confused on, right? Because you sign a guy like Curtis Samuel for 3,
3 years, 24 mil,
right? But like this year he's making how much?
3.9,
3.9 million, right? Next year he's making
10.3 or something like that.
right. So even if you drafted a Ladd McConkey, essentially what you're saying is you're going into 2025 with Khalil Shakir, who you're going to have to pay, Stephon Diggs, Curtis Samuel, and I think Justin Shorter will still be under contract too,
That guy.
right? Now, we're already having a hard time figuring out who you're going to take off the field.
That's why I think Diggs gonna be gone. I really do.
What's his number next year?
Who Diggs?
Yeah.
It's up there. But that's why they stopped restructuring, because it didn't make any sense. And what am I typing? Get out of here.
As far as restructuring Diggs?
Yeah, that's why they
Okay.
they didn't do it, because they 2025 he's 27.3 against the cap. He carries a dead cap.
I'm sorry, how much you say?
22 point. No, he's 27 against the cap next year.
What about trades?
You're talking about 25, right?
Yeah. Like if they tried to trade him in
So
20.
if
Trade
you trade
him
him,
post-June.
you're looking at post. Well, we won't do that. Let's do this. So you trade him, you're saving $5 million, but he's got a dead cap at 22.
Even if you, well, that's release.
I'm sorry.
In a trade.
If you, yeah, it's the same. Pre 6-1 trade,
Wow.
that's the same thing. If you do a post 6-1 trade, you're talking about 8.9 dead cap next
Yep.
year and 13 mil dead cap in 26, but you save
Yep.
18 mil next year. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, his
That's
hours
probably
up to
how they're gonna
25.
do it.
I
They're
see
gonna
that
trade him.
route. I see that route.
That would have to be it.
And here's my thing. Again, I'm not a. I love Stephon Diggs, right? But I think both sides have to have a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
It's clear Steph Diggs wants to win. It's in his blood. It's bubbling all over him.
Yeah.
So let's try. So in my opinion, if we make it to the Super Bowl, we don't have to win. If we make it to the Super Bowl, may make him stay. But if another year where he's looking at the field or he's doing this or he's like pissed off,
I mean, but the thing about that is, I think it's the other way around though, because he has no horses in the race. He's tied in until 28, unless the Bills say we're sick of you. You got to go. Because
you don't think he wants to? If we don't win, he don't want to move out. Like let me play from Mahomes.
he can want to do what he wants, but they don't have to let him go. Is what I'm saying.
But I think it'll be like a mutual.
No, I don't think. I don't.
That's what you don't. That's what you
Yeah,
don't
I don't
think
see
it'll be mutual.
a goodwill move. I don't care about goodwill. Steph Diggs is my guy. I don't really
But
care.
didn't he?
You stuck with us.
Didn't he ask for a trade out of Minnesota?
He did.
He did.
That's what
2
I'm saying,
years in
like,
a row.
Huh?
He 2 years in a row. They didn't give him to him the first time.
You know, I think it's at some point Especially with the way fans been overreacting to his tweets now.
Yeah.
If he decided to, I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute, Steve. Give me 1 second. If he decided to, put something out there that says he wants to leave, first and foremost, I think Sean would be happy to oblige that because he was already trying to get rid of him last year, right? And then secondly, if they were going to do it at all, next year is the year to do it with the amount of cap that they're going to save and with the amount of cap space that they're going to have, along with being able to restructure Josh and get rid of that $13 million or whatever that they're already over next year.
They're over $13 million now, right now. As it stands.
Right. So Josh's restructure next year takes care of that. Mm-hmm. Right. So now you're back to zero, and the cap is going up again next year, and you got a lot more of these contracts coming off your caps. A bunch of guys' dead cap hits are coming off the books, so you're gonna have a lot more cap space next year. And then you add on the opportunity to get Stephon Diggs' contract off your books, and they would be now, according to this, they're getting $18 million in savings if they do that, and with only a dead cap hit. Excuse my English. Of $18 million. Of $8 million.
You get
the post June trade,
you get,
right?
Yeah,
so
you get $18 million. But see, the thing is, you got to listen to what Bean said. They don't want to kick stuff down the road anymore. So I mean,
this wouldn't be a kick down the road.
It really is because to make it work, you're doing a post 6-1. So now you're pushing money into 26. Mm-hmm. So now you're taking $14 million off of 26's contract now. So if you do it in 25, now you're looking at messing up the 25 cap and messing up 26.
Now, but the other thing is, as a organization, do you want to keep a player who don't want to be kept?
Right.
And now, to me, there's a difference. If you're, let's say, 24, I don't care, you staying. I need you. But if you're 30, pushing 31, and you want to leave, why am I keeping you?
I'm not. I don't want to say I'm the opposite, but
you rather keep them older?
Well, it's not rather. It's just the financial responsibility that it's not as easy to say, you're done.
Yeah.
You don't want to be here. We don't want you here. We're out of here. That's the thing that gets me. Now, if they come up with something where this occurs, which I don't see how.
Or what if they get like a trade partnership like, hey, listen, we'll take Diggs, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you trade, he still counts against your cap. So it's a no-win. Yeah. It's a no-win. And the fact that they just restructured them, it just shows me that they just restructured him in 24 or 22. So his new contract really starts. I think the way they worded it really starts this year.
But now, what about? So, for example, Hardy. When he came last year, they signed him to a what?
2-year.
He's gone.
Yeah,
right.
But you got to look at his cap hit. They structured it in a way it was a 1-year deal.
What about Poyer's contract?
It was a 1-year deal. They structured it in a 1-year deal.
Okay.
So
I mean, the only one that I've seen that was terrible was the Russell Wilson deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying I'm saying they could do that, but
Yeah.
And then too, like that trade, like it's gonna push some money down, but it's not unrealistic for it to happen.
I mean, if Diggs came in and said, "I refuse to play for you guys. I refuse. I'm not dressing. I'm not doing this. You can find me until you find me." Then they might look at it.
Yeah.
But I don't see Diggs doing that. I especially with Josh Allen. He's like,
even
at the worst.
Even if they don't, if it's another disappointing season.
Yeah. I mean, what's he going to say to last year? What did he say? You didn't see this because he knew he screwed up.
Right.
He said it.
But see,
I dropped it.
That one he kind of took ownership of.
People don't talk. Well, that's the one he had to.
Right.
People don't talk about that though.
But now, what if the situation is like the Cincinnati game, where you ain't give him an opportunity, where he could have, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you know what? I'm done, bro. Like, my brother's out here still playing in the league. I'm still trying to win a championship. Like,
so you like what they did with Kyle Oposo. You love that.
I really do.
That ain't
because to me, it's, bro, thank you for your service. I appreciate what you did for Buffalo. Now we're gonna give you an opportunity to win.
Fam, do you follow hockey at all?
Let me tell you something. Not as much as football, but
Calaposo should have never been signed to the last 2 contracts. He was over the hill 2 contracts ago, and they kept re-signing this dude because he's a veteran presence in the locker room.
That's what I'm saying.
So finally, they're like, "Yo, nah, we gonna let you go to somewhere where you can. We gonna let you just get over there.
Let him go on the greener pastures.
Yeah, we gonna do a solid. You go. No, seriously, you go. Don't come back here."
Yeah.
So really quick, couple of comments. And I was trying to figure out where I could fit this one in, but real quick, Rich said Madden 24 is actually finally good. The years before it were bad since Madden 08. As far as Steve's comment, he said when we had Diggs, and I think he's talking about Sanders and Beasley and Davis, all on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying Beasley and Davis were 3 and 4 with McKenzie rotating. How is it insulting to say Samuel and Shakir are going to be like Davis and Shakir? I don't. I think it's. Well, first off, let me say I don't think it's insulting. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's right, and here's why. In the offense when we had Sanders, Beasley, Davis, and Diggs, Beasley was actually the number 2 in terms of targets on that team. Mm-hmm. Sanders was the quasi number 3, even though he played the X position, which is the wide receiver 2 spot. He was number 3 in terms of targets, right? Now, when you incorporated Davis into that, it was specifically to give Sanders a blow, or on certain downs where they wanted to, where they valued run blocking more, he would come in and relieve Sanders so that they could run their run plays and have a bigger guy run blocking, because Davis was good at it initially, like his first year. He was good enough to get in the game to do that. And they thanked him with giving him, a few plays where they called his number, and that was Dayball's guy. It's one of the guys Dayball wanted. So, all of that is to say, that's the major reason for me kind of taking issue with saying that Samuel and Shakir would be number 3 and 4. And the other part of that is saying that they're number 3 and 4 is assuming that whoever we draft is just gonna be given the number 2 spot, the number 2 wide receiver spot, or the X. So do I have that right, or is it the Y?
What's that?
The number 2 wide receiver spot's the Y. I don't know why I keep saying X.
Yeah, X is the online receiver. So
Yeah, so the X, his job, he has to make plays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's typically your number 1,
Yeah.
right? So I'm thinking about the Y. I'm sorry. So anyway, that's why I kind of took issue with that, because I don't think it's very hard to see Sean McDermott going against everything that he's done to this point, or all the habits that he's established at to this point of making the rookies earn. Like even with Kincaid, got no targets the first 10 weeks. Like it wasn't until
intermittent,
it wasn't until Knox went down and he had to throw to Kincaid, and then once people saw, he's good, you got to keep getting him the ball. Sean couldn't deny it at that point. I got to keep getting. You know what I'm saying? I got to do it. So I don't see a rookie coming in and just snatching that spot. It has to be. It's got to be justified, and in Sean's mind, I don't think it's justified, especially when you got guys like Samuel and Shakir in front of him. To me, it just wouldn't be just. Now, that's not to say that I don't want a guy like Brian Thomas to get that burn early, or a guy like McConkey to get that burn early. Again, I only try to go by what I know Sean is going to do, because I've gone years, and mm-hmm. I've gone years of trying to say what I wanted to happen and never see it happen. So, okay, instead of driving myself crazy, I'm going to just change my train of thought. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So, moving right along. Nobody else has got anything on that. Moving right along.
You good.
Solomon says, I agree, he old school type of coach. Right. This is exactly
He does what?
Right. He's an old school type of coach.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 8:59. Are we ducking out of here?
You want to do your exercise?
I was just thinking about that. It should be kind of quick. We got a few minutes, right? You got a few minutes? Okay. So
you got mind rocking out with? No, I'm joking.
yeah. Thank you for everybody who still hangs out. These Monday episodes are going longer and longer. We need a radio show.
Yeah.
We need we need some sponsors. That's what we need. Any of you guys got some businesses y'all want to sponsor? Hit us up, man. We trying to get there.
I do need a radio show.
Okay, so I went through all of the players. Now, I kept this to players that the Bills drafted because there were other guys that the Bills signed that you can, put into this kind of exercise. But I tried to stay with guys that except for one. Mm-hmm. I think there was one player that I put in here that the Bills signed, but you have to put Fitz in here. You have to.
Okay.
Right?
No problem.
So this is a competition of Bills 3-man team. So I went quarterback, wide receiver, running back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which of these 4 teams wins the tournament?
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Team number 1.
Well, is this NFL Street version or how's this work? Can they jump off walls, arena football style? What are we doing? No, I'm joking.
All right, moving right along. No, all right. So team number 1 is Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Mm-hmm.
Eric Moulds, Thurman Thomas. You sound like they're putting food on the Thanksgiving table. All right, team number 2.
I wouldn't figure. Okay.
Team number 2, Jim Kelly, Steph Diggs, Fred Jackson.
Fred Jackson? Hold on.
Okay. Team number 3, Josh Allen, Stevie Johnson, Travis Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Team number 4, Doug Flutie, Andre Reed, Marshawn Lynch. I tried to make this as hard as I possibly could.
He's probably picking 4.
So I already got 2.
You got 2?
I got 2 that's going.
Who you got?
The first squad, Fitz, Moulds, and Thurman. All day long. And the second team who's going to compete with them will be the last team.
Doug Flutie, Reed, and Marshawn Lynch?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think the Josh Allen team, he got Stevie.
Him and Stevie, I don't see that working.
The Josh Allen team is Josh Allen, Stevie Johnson, Travis Henry.
Yeah, and Travis Henry, nope.
So outside looking in, it says team 4, Doug Flutie, Andre Reed, Marshawn Lynch. Daniel saying 3 or 4, Allen, Stevie Johnson, Travis Henry, or Flutie, Reed, and Lynch.
I'm saying 1 or 4. 1 or 4.
I mean, Fitzpatrick throwing the Moulds would make a lot of sense, though.
What? Yeah.
That'll make a whole
Steve
lot
says
of
Kelly,
sense.
Diggs, and Jackson.
Who said that, Steve?
Yeah.
That would be my 3.
See, I think to make this fair, we need to figure out how old people are because
Let's just say all of them are in their prime. Okay.
Well, I mean the people that are answering because
yeah.
it's like somebody be like, yeah, let me get Cookie Gilchrist and
Bro, because, dude, you got Thurman and Eric Moulds. I could throw to them boys. It's over.
Yeah, but you got a noodle arm.
But it's Fitz, though.
I mean, that's the thing. That's why Eric Moulds and Fitz makes so much sense to me because Eric Moulds worked where? Over the middle.
Yep.
Short yardage.
Yeah.
And that's where Fitz, I mean, he could ish, kind of. Not really. But
here's the other thing, too. When you consider Ryan Fitzpatrick, he is an over-the-middle guy. Right,
mm-hmm.
But he's never been patient enough to move methodically like a Peyton Manning down the field with all the short stuff. He always had to take a shot.
That's why the Thurman seals it for me because Thurman was the Christian McCaffrey at the time.
But see,
that's true too.
This is another thing too. Fitzpatrick never had an Eric Moulds over the middle. It was never like, I know he's there.
Right.
That never was afforded to him. So it's like, all right.
Right.
Because we talked about it. David Nelson, Donald Jones, Stevie Johnson. I don't hear no Eric Moulds in there anywhere.
Bro, he got Moulds and Thurman?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it like this.
That's hard to beat, bro.
This is the way I'm looking at it. In my mind, when I put Stevie and Travis Henry with Josh Allen, I'm saying that's a team that can go around you and through you. Right, because Josh can run the ball. Travis Henry gonna go right through you, almost in the same fashion as Lynch would. Right, but here's the other thing: Josh Allen is a spot thrower. Right? Stevie Johnson plays basketball when he's running routes. So he's going to get open.
Right.
And that's all Josh needs to get it in there. So it's not like you would be able to just shut them down.
Or are they
You know what I'm
Are
saying?
they playing against Revis?
Huh?
Are they playing against Revis? Because that counts. It counts. Because if it's not Revis, I don't know. But no, seriously,
to me, it's 1 or 4.
Yeah.
1 or 4.
1 or 4.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, all right. I know you said it. So, team 2 was Jim Kelly, Steph Diggs, and who was the running back?
Fred Jackson.
Yep.
Nah. See, I could see Jim because Steph Diggs is a throwback game. Steph Diggs could be like Andre Reedish.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I could see that. But what throws it off is Fred Jackson.
Right. I tried to make sure on every team there was a
high
strength,
point and
and a weakness. Yeah.
This is well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy, and I heard this. I was like, what? That's hard. You definitely made it hard.
Yeah, hell yeah. Whoa, no.
Right.
Your balance game was on point.
Thank you. So
What you think, Key?
I need some seeds, man.
I gotta contemplate.
Let's go casita. Let me get.
I don't know.
Let me get one.
1?
Yeah.
Wow.
What you got? Out of your 4?
Man, when I was looking at this, so Daniel's right. He said with Allen and Flutie, you get mobility, which almost adds a 4th person. To me, those were one of the 2 teams that I was looking at, right? I didn't get a chance to watch Andre Reed that much, but based on what y'all say, Stephon Diggs was a lot like Reed. You got a mobile guy in Flutie, and then you got the added benefit of Marshawn Lynch, who not only was a power runner but was a home run hitter on top of that. I think I got to go with 4. I think I got to go with Doug Flutie, Andre Reed.
So I got
Marshawn
1 and
Lynch.
4. You got 4. You said
1.
1.
Yeah.
See, 1 and 4.
Yeah.
See,
Who wins between 1 and 4?
this ain't fair. This ain't fair because he goes with his guy. I had to poop on Steph Diggs to make my guess, man. But to be fair, my number 1 receiver is Eric Moles. That is my favorite receiver in the Bills.
But here's the thing. All right, so wait. So let's look at it this way. That's really not fair because you got some active players, but the non-active players on 1 and 4, who has more Hall of Fame players?
4 is that's the Flutie one?
Yeah, 4 has 1, and number 1 has none.
1 got 2.
we got
Thurman
Thurman.
Thomas. I'm sorry, they both got 1.
Yeah.
Eric
Andre Reed
Moles.
and Thurman Thomas.
He's not Hall of Fame.
He's not Hall of Fame?
He's a Wall of Famer. though.
That's right. He's Wall of Fame.
Yeah, but isn't Doug Flutie a Wall of Famer?
I don't think so.
He's not.
I don't think
Is Mold on the walls? Is he on the walls?
so. Moses on the wall.
He's on the wall?
He's on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was in the hall.
No. See, I didn't think he was on the wall yet. I thought that was a conversation they were trying to have. I didn't know he was up there yet. Okay.
Well, then, I mean, 1 would have to win then because they got a Hall of Famer and a Wall of Famer.
But then, I don't know, because Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn hit somebody with his car. You can't even. That takes him out of the running.
You take
immediately.
it. Okay. So and those that know me know I'm not a Thurman Thomas fan at all. But I think I'd take him over Marshawn Lynch.
And I watched the man.
Wow.
I watched. That's when I started watching football.
Yeah, me too.
And but I love Thurman. But at the time, it was so many like bell cow running backs. Like that was a year of the time of running backs. So my favorite is Barry all day.
See, that's the thing. That's where we get into the McCaffrey argument we had earlier. Thurman he was a good runner. He wasn't a great runner like Barry. He wasn't a top runner. What he did was he revolutionized the game in the pass game.
Yes.
So that's what catapulted him.
Well, Steve is saying
was.
Thurman was more like Marshall Falk than McCaffrey.
Yeah, because he did the same thing.
I was kind of going with our conversation earlier. That's what I'm
right.
He was really more so because, like I said, McCaffrey he's out there. That's what he does.
Right.
But no, Marshall Falk did both. But
Right.
Thurman Thomas was a predecessor to Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Daniel says Flutie is in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Come on, Daniel. I'll take it.
Flutie
I'm still
Flakes.
not
There you
changing it.
go.
I'll take
Team
it.
4 all day long.
Flutie Flakes.
We taking it?
Flutie Flakes? No, I'm not taking that. I'll take that as a rationale is what I'm saying.
So now, so on who's Flutie's receiver? So we got Flutie, Marshawn, and
Reed, Andre Reed.
Man.
All right, well, do we want to flip a coin then?
I mean, it's
I
between
don't
you
have
guys because I'm
So 1 and 4. Who you got? If they were
one.
go. You got
I
one.
got one.
I'm stuck in between there, man.
Because it's like, to me, it's like,
Cause like I
It's
know
like-
I know what Fitz is gonna give you, and I know what Moses and I know what Thurman gonna do. But at the same time, though, you got Flutie with Reed and Marshawn.
well, Flutie played with Reed. So,
And he said prime, so like it's not the old Reed. It's Reed in his prime.
well, Reed, did he really fall out of his prime in Buffalo?
No way. Steve said, let me get Vince Young, Lee Evans, and O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
That's cheating.
you chose.
That's cheating.
You supposed to make this hard, man. Outside looking at it, was like, wow, Steve. I forgot Vince Young played here, man.
Well, you remember what I did to him, don't you?
What?
To
On
Vince?
Madden, remember when on Madden I put the half cage on him?
Yo, that's
Had the
right.
neck roll in the half cage.
Yes, you did. And you
And he had
boosted
the
his
visor.
pads up, too.
He
Oh,
had the
my
visor
God.
and everything.
You had this man looking like, who was the dude? Zach Taylor, the linebacker from the Dolphins, just big in the shoulders, neck roll, everything.
He had the visor and a half cage. How do you do that? But no, yeah, man,
That's tough. That's tough
I
for
mean, one, because everything is short. Everything is short. There's so many levels of short, and they both can catch it short and go long. You know, Stevie Johnson, okay, he's a spot. He gets to a spot, but he's not really a huge threat to go long on you once he catches the rock. You know, he did it a couple times, but he was more of a volume receiver.
Right.
And the running back, I know I'm going to keep getting this, but that one is Fred Jackson, right?
Which one?
That group.
Jim Kelly, Steph Diggs, and Fred Jackson.
Oh, Jim. Okay, so the third one was Derrick Henry, or not Derrick Henry, Travis Henry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Allen, Stevie, and Travis Henry.
Yeah, so Travis Henry gives you nothing in the run game. You got Allen and
Stop. Outside looking in. Outside looking in, said nothing wrong with short. Oh my gosh.
yes, I think
So we flipping a coin?
this is for y'all two because I'm going one.
No, we both said 4.
Oh, y'all both said 4.
Well,
Yeah.
I said 1 and 4.
See,
I'm stuck between 1 and 4.
So
I
it's a
can't-
tie.
I can't pick between 1 and 4.
we're 1.5 to 1.5.
I could
It's a tie.
definitely say 2 and 3 is out, but 1 and 4.
Yeah,
One
is
two
is
and three is
heads,
out.
4 is tails.
What we got? What we got?
Heads.
Heads.
1 it is.
Yep,
That's 1 it is.
1 it is.
Yeah. And you taking
that's what I said.
Yeah.
team 1?
Yeah, he
Team
won.
Team
Yeah.
1 wins.
He was
That's
1.
it.
You was 4. I was 1 and 4.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we were tied 1.5 to 1.5.
All right. Well,
No, that's
that's
what
it. Fitzmagic strikes again. Eric Moulds and Thurman Thomas. That's who takes it. Let us know.
There, boy. That's a squad there.
Yeah. Let us know if you happy with that decision in the comments. With that being said, we gotta get going.
We out of here. I
pull
gotta
up
show A this ball parrot that won't get on a floaty, so we gotta get going.
What you mean?
No, I
son?
can't
Wait, what happened?
do it. I can't do
I
it.
gotta show you the ball parrot that won't get on the floaty. When you
Oh yeah. So if y'all want to see all of that, y'all can go over to Facebook Live. We still got that rolling after we end on YouTube here. You can catch us over there. I'm going to get us out on YouTube though.
OLI, what you got? What you got, OLI?
Let's see here. This music might be a little too loud. Oh, 25? Okay, that's not bad. All right, here we go. All right, if you're hearing that sound, that means it's time to jump out the window. Listen, I got 90 seconds to get us out of here, so check it out. If y'all like basketball and y'all want to hear a podcast about basketball and y'all like information, y'all like knowledge, Basketball Truth and Knowledge is the way to go. My oldest son, Junie, is on YouTube right now. He's got his own channel. He is all about the business when it comes to the NBA. If he could pay for a subscription himself, trust me, he would do it. Other than that, he's watching every other available content you can think of for basketball. So go check that out if that's what you're about. Other than that, we're all caught up on everything with our oh my gosh, I might not make it today. Spotify. Thank you. Spotify. So whatever platform you like to listen to your podcast on, it's available. It's in video form.
Let's ride.
What? Stop outside looking in. He over here putting breaking news and stuff. You must be betting money on this. He got me already. Anyway, all right. So, the other thing too is get those likes up, please, if you can. Subscriptions. Let's get those up. Subscribers. Hit that bell. Make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so that you can get notifications for all of our content. We are getting closer and closer to being able to do this live draft where we act like we are Sean McDermott, Brandon Bean, and who are you supposed to be?
I am Jim Overdorf.
Jim Overdorf. Okay, so that's coming up. What, next week?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So
we got. Is it? When's the draft?
the 25th.
22nd. Whatever that Monday is.
You want to do that Monday? Okay. All right, you're.
Is that what I said? Knowledge, truth, and basketball. Basketball, truth, and knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you had to run over your third.
Spoonerism.
This is the longest one you ever did.
No, I've gone like twice. Let Solomon Sizzlers clap out.
Hey!
Long as we ain't let's riding out of here, I'm all right. But anyway, Steve says Travis Henry knows how to make him clap. Pause. He sure do. 10 kids later, he know what he doing, boy. All right. Anyway, thank you very much for sticking with us. We went a little bit longer this time. Very serious though. If you know any businesses that are looking to to get in front of a crowd, we're at that point now where we can start taking on smaller sponsorships. Nothing major. The expectation is not huge, but that's a realm that we're ready to move into. With that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
And this Key.
And you can, again, catch us on Facebook Live if you're trying to see the reaction to the video and all that stuff. See y'all. Peace.
Peace.